With love and peace, it's 101 Leafy, bringing you some more Fantasy Life I to brighten up your day. We're back with another episode of Rank 10 Island, our post-game grind series. So right now, we have Dragon Tree and Dragon's Claw on our map. We can farm XP for our NPCs if we want. Shadowcat, what's up? Hello. Great to see ya. So one thing that I wanted to go over today is the differences between mage combos for each staff. Because applying flat damage on hit is actually really good for Dark type, I think. Because Dark has a lot of hits compared to Ice. Ice is like 1 hit, Dark is like 5. The combo the mage uses is determined by the staff they're using. Hi Pito, welcome. Where are you, Pitu from Pit Icarus Uprising? Got him, to level 86. How many Dragon Tree wings do we have now? Oh, you're from France. What's up? That's super cool. Thanks for watching. Awesome. I'm trying to search for our... Let's sort by rarity here. Find the Dragon Tree wing. We have 55! Holy crap! We have 55 Dragon Tree wings. And 55 Dragon Tree horns, an equal amount. Chris, what's up? It's great to see ya. How do you still not have true time tools and weapons for every life, as Axel? Because I haven't dumped any time into grinding them out. I'm just letting it happen over time. I explained this in a video, actually. You just saw my video on the Dragon Tree and Dragon Claw, Chris. Thank you so much. I worked hard on that one. The grind took a bit. So I appreciate you watching. While we clean this up, let's get some bonus XP for our guys. Your woodcutter and miner are under level 60, so they can't do anything. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's a tough tree. You'll need to just do the usual until then. Just chop down whatever's available. Opito says, my content has helped a lot, so thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for letting me know. Today you got all your Kurios to hero rank. Oh, that's exciting. Do you guys want to know a secret? I'll tell you a secret. A lot of people have been asking if they're going to add another rank to the lives and increase the level cap. I've looked in the files, and the answer is yes. I won't say anything related to, like, spoilery stuff, but just to confirm that the game will get updated, it will, yes. Beyond what they've announced. There's stuff that they're keeping secret that's really big. What consumable buff are you using? Nothing right now, Axel. I ran out of milkshakes while making the video. So I gotta go buy some watermelons? Basically all of the ingredients. Let's go do that. Beach watermelon, wild kiwi. Okay, whatever. Base camp, Swollen Island, and Trop Guys. Right. To Squat Pier. Yeah, new rank will be really, really nice. I wonder what kind of abilities there will be. And lots of new bosses, too. I would like them to add more mechanics to Gathering. I highly doubt they will, but it would be nice to see. Oh, your phone's at 13%. Jeez, go charge it. Dragon Tree wings sell for 800. Filter by price. Sell it all. Got it. Buy all the kiwis. And buy all the strawberries. And buy all the milk. Okay, don't buy all the milk, maybe. Yeah, time for some artistry, Axel. We gotta craft some more dosh here. We're running low. Need more stickers. Here we go. Oh yeah, we basically... Oh no. The trip ones I like. Don't sell the trip ones. Ether Ocean, welcome back. Sell those. Oh, we gotta buy the strawberries. Oh, we did. Tropical Isles time. Here we go. So I got Night Rain. It's really fun. I wish there was more than one area. But I get why there isn't. I don't know. I sort of understand why they'd want it to be the same area each time, but I just wish there were a couple versions. I don't know. Sorry for the hot take. Did you sell your tool and weapon drops? I sell most of them for Redux Stones, Hachi, yeah. You read my mind there. Huh. To base camp, here we go. Claim all the flowers to gamble. Hey, man, what's up? Present for Leafy. Cute. Ah, that's her painting. Do we have seeds? Not really. $700 fish. Do I have branches? Aging altar. Mining altar. I'd rather do an 800 or a 700. I also want to craft some stuff for our AI. I have a wicked build I'm working on for Olivia. Olivia, you might ask. Yep. Shield required. Welcome back, Tito. Got craft in here. Here we go. Okay. The things of time. What haven't we crafted? Great sword. Hang on. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah, that's no good. Dave Incognito, welcome back. You're not sure what to do after beating the story. I would try to get your lives to hero rank, because that will drive you in the right direction. Just start going through any life missions that you have. It should take you to the Cave of Trials B4 with lots of strong bosses to farm, for example. Leveling up crafting lives is really easy and can get you pretty far. Let me know how the volume levels are. Maybe the game's a bit loud. I'm sorry. Rush of Time looks sus, says Axel. Let me inspect. Okay, yeah. I might agree with that. We need some Sheep King Fleece, and, okay, don't tell me. I know people, okay, don't. I'd rather not know. But we actually haven't found the, Axe of Time recipe yet. Oops. Don't. We'll find it eventually. Until then, we gotta go grab some fleece. For the Needle of Time. Oh, I guess we haven't made the Shield of Time. We have the recipe. Yeah, I know. I knew someone would be a jerk. I know. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. Immediately someone says in the chat, even though I was saying not to say it. I know. I screwed it up. We found all of the other ones without hints. I was like, well, if I mention that we're missing it, someone's going to say it, and it'll screw it up. I should not have had so much faith in you guys. I'm still not going to grab it until next session, because I don't feel like it. That's the way it goes. We're resetting for Godfish, I guess, right now. Veggie. I would never, said Shadowcat. I didn't know where it was, but I wouldn't anyways. He says, thanks. Amazing how people can hear, like, what I'm missing, but not the part where I say before and afterwards, don't tell me. But that's streaming for you. You can't really be picky and choosy like that. I don't think life works that way. Getting philosophical while resetting for a level 90 fish. Forgive me. Angel says, hi, what's up, Angel? Welcome. We're seeing if we can get these fish to spawn. I have a feeling we won't be able to. Axel, I don't really like talking about those sorts of things. I don't think it matters that much. I also don't think that discussing statistics related to my channel would actually be informative to people, because most people lack the proper perspective to understand everything. They would get the wrong idea. It's better to just not talk about all that. If life was perfect, we wouldn't need numbers. I don't know why I'm doing the legendary fish. That's not what we wanted at all. On total autopilot there. I guess it gives some angler experience, but not a lot. So we got Legendary Don Wooly to spawn here at level 6. So I am absolutely heading in there. Who should we use today? How did you find the motivation to get rank 6 in all areas, Espito? Rank 6 happens over time when you play multiplayer. Rank 7 is the part that's really just impossible. Okay, let's craft Shield of Time. Rank 7 is the part that's really impossible. Rank 6 will happen. Once you set all your areas to rank 5, you'll get rank 6 while playing multiplayer. It'll just happen over a month or two. Hey, Nieves, what's up? Welcome back. Rank 7 is the absolute worst, and you get 0 reward for it yet. I have a theory, but it's probably incorrect, so it would be irresponsible of me to say it. Considering how quickly people misinterpreted my message about not telling me where the true Axe of Time recipe is, I really am not sure if it would be responsible to go into this at all. But I'll say it anyways, for those of you who are good listeners out there, because I appreciate you. And I don't want to be the teacher that says nobody can have recess because one person said a bad word in class. This is a real experience that happened to me in 2nd grade, and I've never forgiven the kid that did it, dude. I'm, like, still pissed about it. For whatever reason, we had an issue where kids in our 2nd grade class could not stop swearing. And the teacher started freaking out about it. This is the true story. I was not a part of this group, okay? I was a very silly person, but I made sure to respect the teachers who were clearly just trying to do their jobs. And so, we eventually got to the point where anytime they would hear somebody swear while playing football outside during recess, they would call off recess and call everybody in. And at one point it got so bad that during class, somebody was like, oh shit, it was a freaking 2nd grader. And the teacher was like, oh my god, no recess today. And I was like, Billy, what the hell, bro? Okay, I did not say that. That would have gotten us in more trouble, actually. I was like, Billy, what the heck, bro? How can you diddly dang do that? And after that, I think everybody was so upset about it that they never, peer pressure. Nobody ever broke the swearing rule again. People were like, god damn it. People were like, god dang it. I can't even tell the story without swearing. Oh my god, I'm caught. Yeah, true Shield of Time. Like, I need that. I hope roguelike gives Ginormosia area points, says Ether. Okay, that would be so goated. Guys, can you imagine if when playing the roguelike mode, you get area points? Oh man, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Gotta go to the tower to re-equip. You can't do it at a crafting bench. They gotta patch that in. I don't get it. Yeah, the no swearing lessons clearly worked well, Ray Birdie. Do you prefer Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Great question, Axel. It's a really, it's a tough question. I would say here's the thing. Undeniably, just due to the law of novelty, Breath of the Wild made more of an impact and stuck with people. Because it was the first of its kind. That's just the way things are. And we gotta be willing to accept that. And now that we've accepted it, we gotta put it aside. I guess this also begs the question of... Okay. The question of whether it matters or not is a separate question. I shouldn't ask that, because you're asking the question in the first place. It matters because you're asking it. That's enough for me. I would say Tears of the Kingdom is a lot closer to classic Zelda because I feel like it tried to be. Like, the dungeons and stuff were really cool. Also, the graphics are really pretty. So is Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom even more so. The fusing mechanic is however you feel about it. At the end of the day, breaking weapons and fusing and blah, blah, blah is like, it all goes into one pile of complaints, right? Now, here's the thing. Tears of the Kingdom's UI sucks for selecting items. Does that ruin the entire game? No. Does it make the fusion gimmick worse? Yes. So... which is it? I guess the question now is, what would I even say Breath of the Wild did better? The shrines were more memorable, I feel like. Am I crazy? I feel like the shrines were more memorable. But again, it might just be because that was the first one. It's kind of like, oh, well, Ocarina of Time's bosses were more memorable than Majora's Mask, somebody might say. How come? And then they're like, oh, because I was so wowed when I played Ocarina of Time and it was my first 3D game. It's like, okay. Putting aside the fact that Ocarina of Time came first, right? I'm trying to be objective here. Though I guess all he asked was freaking which I personally prefer. It's not that deep. Tears of the Kingdom delivered in a lot of aspects. Breath of the Wild flubs the final boss, for example, making it easier if you play more of the game, if you get more invested, if you get stronger. It halves the final boss's HP. Tears of the Kingdom takes this into account. I would say a lot of complaints that I see about Tears of the Kingdom online, not that this in any way has anything to do with the person who asked the question, but when reading other negative takes on, or not other, I'm sorry, when reading negative takes, which are different from mine, because I really like Tears of the Kingdom, is what I meant to say. A complaint from people that I often see is, you know, the battery is restrictive, or, you know, I didn't like the fusing, or, you know, I remember Breath of the Wild side quests more, or whatever. Okay, I kept track of a lot of side quest stuff for Tears of the Kingdom, and they tried a lot of new mechanics. They really built out some really cool stuff. They had these missions where you, like, have the soldiers, and they follow you, and you go into the caves, and they have the dialogue and stuff. They did a lot of cool stuff with the dialogue in that game. Not that Breath of the Wild didn't, but Tears of the Kingdom really tried, in ways that I feel like surface-level complaints can miss. I guess I'm responding to your question of whether I prefer Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I'm responding to it by saying I actually like Tears of the Kingdom. Would I say I prefer it to Breath of the Wild? I think ultimately my preferences don't work that way. If you're asking about my specific preference, I played both games at launch, and I dunked hundreds of hours into each. And so I would say, I'm trying not to die here while doing all of this. Got him. I would say Breath of the Wild is a timeless classic. And one thing that Nintendo is really freaking good at doing is deciding to do something and then executing it. Nintendo spent like a decade trying to get Breath of the Wild to work. When they released it, it was freaking awesome and novel as all hell. Making a sequel to that is not going to have the same novelty or permanent impact. It just isn't. But that doesn't make Tears of the Kingdom the worst game. On Reddit, it does. On Reddit, you get upvoted 1,000 points by saying, when I was 6 years old and I played Breath of the Wild, it was the most magical experience of all time, and so Tears of the Kingdom just isn't as good. You'll get like 1,000 upvotes on Reddit for saying that, man. That's just how gaming Discord is these days. But I don't necessarily think that they're meant to be compared one-to-one as products in terms of which is better than which. Nintendo is fully aware that they're still producing both cartridges and selling both for full retail price, which means Nintendo wants them to be different. Nintendo wants them to be separate products that do separate things better. I'm trying to think of an analogy, but it's like, let's say you want a printer, right? You might get a really crappy printer, but then like, let's say you're making paper crafts, right? You might realize all of a sudden that printer you were using for flyers The color accuracy just isn't there for printing, maybe you made some drawings. The color isn't accurate for printing your drawings, even though you got it for flyers. Okay, well now you need a specialized printer for printing photos because you're making drawings. Okay, well guess what? If you want to make paper crafts, your photo printer isn't going to work. You need something with color accuracy that can also work with heavier paper like cardstock or things that are close to it. In that event, your photo printer isn't going to work either, and your original printer won't work because the colors aren't accurate enough. To say which is better, a photo printer or a high color accuracy printer that can't work with glossy photo paper? Well, they're each for different tasks, even though they're both really similar and they're both by the same company. And maybe one has a different UI from the other because every printer has a different UI. And so maybe you really prefer like the button menu of the photo printer, but that doesn't mean that it can handle paper larger than 4x8 inches or whatever, right? It's not going to work for your papercraft printing. Even if you prefer the UI, that doesn't necessarily make it the better printer for every situation. And I think that's how Nintendo approaches game development as well. In the end, my answer is that I love both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild so much that I think comparing them is something that you do after you decide that you really like Zelda as a whole. I think anybody who loves one but hates another for like a really small reason is probably missing the bigger picture. A lot of gaming fans on like Reddit can be moved by very small impulses and have very dramatic takes because of that. I don't like how Jibanyan looks in Shadowside, so it's literally garbage. It sucks. It should never be localized, and anybody who disagrees is wrong and is trying to ruin my day and ruin my fun. Okay. That's like a really common take on Reddit, man. I can't do anything about that. But I really like Breath of the Wild. I've been locked in here. I should look at chat while telling my story. Axel, I hope that answers your question. Axel says he prefers atmosphere in Breath of the Wild for sure. Yeah, Breath of the Wild, the shrines were really mystical, right? Okay. Whenever they would be like, we have a really amazing present for you, And then it's like, ba-da-ba-da-ba, and it's like the shittiest sword of all time. Okay. Maybe the atmosphere wasn't perfect, but when you looked around you inside the treasure shrines, they were really epic. Again, I think that Tears of the Kingdom is going to just like automatically get docked some points because we've already seen Breath of the Wild. It can never be as original. That doesn't make it worse, but I got to be honest about that. Like maybe there's going to be some bias there in my opinion. But also, okay, putting that aside, the Zonai stuff, I think it's because I've been playing Fantasy Life I, man, and they ripped off the Zonai stuff. It just doesn't feel that interesting to me anymore. I want to say that the Zonai stuff was like over, I don't know, but now that I think about it, I also like the aesthetic. I do want to say I preferred Breath of the Wild's aesthetic and atmosphere, like you said, but then like I'm wondering how much of it is like Tears of the King is like the poop shrines and stuff, like the glowing green from the poop shrines and like the final boss. I'm gonna show the final boss real quick, even though I shouldn't. This guy, right? Okay. Having this as Fantasy Life I's final boss kind of makes me dislike Tears of the Kingdom. I kind of feel like I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom for the past 500 hours, so I'm kind of tired of it. I kind of want to say that I prefer Breath of the Wild's aesthetic, because this game just straight up rips off. I mean parodies, I mean samples. I'm sorry, Toby Fox. This game samples Tears of the Kingdom so much that, according to Undertale fans, that it makes me not like Tears of the Kingdom as much. But that's like really unfair to Tears of the Kingdom's aesthetic, because I do think all the Guardians look badass. I don't know. It's such a tough question. But like, Breath of the Wild really suffers from being a Wii U game that was supposed to make unique use of the Wii U gamepad and wasn't allowed to because they didn't want it to have any features that can make Switch owners feel left out. And so Breath of the Wild had some unique features that actually got removed last second. Like, I don't know, everything involving the gamepad. It's kind of like how I'd say that I almost prefer Splatoon 1 because you can see the map on the gamepad. Yeah, I know, sorry. Oh, look at the old guy over here. Oh, who's gonna die soon? Okay. Little kids, shut up. I remember back when we could see the map on the Wii U gamepad. And 10 years ago for Splatoon 1, man, come on, stop. That was like 5 years ago. Okay. I don't necessarily think Splatoon 1's the better game because of that. Because Splatoon 3 has so many different things. Also, I freaking hate battle passes, and I hate missing out on stuff. So I hate the catalog stuff in Splatoon 3. But that also makes Splatoon 3 have objectively more equipment in total than Splatoon 1, no matter how much I hate the way that you get it. So it's still better in that scenario. Splatoon 3 still wins, right? It's important to not be fully moved by those impulses and like kind of lay out the biases in full. Instead of just making a comment on Reddit that's like, I really hate Battle Pass style stuff. I hate the catalogs in Splatoon 3, so the entire game is ass. It's an entire fart, and maybe the poop afterwards too. Like, come on, man. Okay, no need to be that harsh on Splatoon 3 just because they have stupid Fortnite stuff. It has more content. It has better content. You can play Salmon Run whenever you want. So, yes, it's better. But all of us who have played the full Splatoon trilogy, we all have our favorite parts from each game, and we all have our hang-ups about the other entries that are like, why did they change the renderer from Splatoon 2 to 3? Why did they change the art style in general, too? Why did they remove a lot of unique animations? Why did, right? Like, Splatoon 3, for whatever reason, actually kind of lost a lot of stuff upgrading from Splatoon 2. Doesn't necessarily make it the worst game overall. But I think, like, fist to fist, just slap fight, in terms of Splatoon content, I think we can all agree. Even if Splatoon 2 isn't the better game, Octo Expansion is like the best content they've ever released. Side Order was almost, it was almost like perfect. They just needed like twice as much content, which is like, it's not almost perfect that they needed twice as much content. But in a game, a roguelike mode, where all the content is randomly assorted based on manually created Lego blocks that are then randomly built together, Nintendo didn't include enough Lego blocks in the bin. It's like Lego making a multicolor rainbow Lego box set, those epic bins. That's, it's always hype to get those. And sometimes they have like the build plate on the top of the lid. Oh man, that's super cool. It's kind of like if they made one of those, but it has 10 blocks in it. It's like the Duplo version, dude. Like a Duplo box. Got like 10 blocks in the box for $30. I have the worst analogies. Thank you to the 2 people who stick with me for that. Do you have a video on mechanics? I don't know what's weak to what, or what to gear my armor and weapon attributes towards. You mean like elemental mechanics, Angel? I gotta do that. Many people are nostalgic for Breath of the Wild when they say it's better than Tears, says Sora-san. For me, story and technical-wise, Tears is better. Dude, okay, I feel like they went above and beyond for the cinematics of Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild, Nintendo was already putting their best foot forward, but due to the stellar reception to the Breath of the Wild, I feel like Nintendo really took their time to present Zelda as this, not opposite side of Nintendo, but once you know that Nintendo can do Mario, you gotta understand that they can do storytelling too. When you see Xenoblade, it's a bit less of a, whoa, what the hell, if you've played Tears of the Kingdom. Because Nintendo clearly knows how to do epic anime once you see Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of people didn't know that, like, Nintendo games are so anime-inspired, despite the company's name being Japanese. A lot of things that are Japanese, we just take as Nintendo things instead. Like, we've known Nintendo for so long, it's like, oh, yeah, that's a Nintendo thing. Whereas it's really more of a Japanese thing. But for Zelda, they really hammer home, like, this unique identity with this cinematic storytelling that not necessarily Mario doesn't have, but if you go back to my reaction to the ending of Mario Odyssey, I'm probably, like, one of the few dozen, like, extremely strange people who were, like, actually really invested in the story for Mario Odyssey. And so I'm curious to see what they do with Pauline and Donkey Kong Bonanza, because it's the same team, so it's basically a sequel story. Because I think, ultimately what Mario Odyssey's ending tells us is that Nintendo doesn't take the story seriously, despite all of the grandiose moments leading up to it. Whereas for Zelda, not to spoil Tears of the Kingdom's ending or anything, but it's pretty romantic, straight up. Which is like a lock for things we wanted to see out of Zelda. Angel says, yes, sir, elemental and how stats work in general. I don't know if defense or magic defense is worth investing in. Oh yeah, I was working on a video of that. Our Don Wooly fight there should definitely help out with it. We can go reset for more fish. Do you have a favorite Inazuma Hisatsu, not including Fubuki's? Asked Shadowcat. Yeah, the Ashura. The Ashura is my favorite Hisatsu animation in the entire series. I'll take this opportunity to say it again. I understand the Orion dislike for Inazuma 11, but if somebody loves Chronostones while hating Orion for not being Inazuma, they really need to sit down. Orion's a bit overdramatic, sure, but it doesn't have time travel. Where you get the guy trying to unite Japan and Jeanne d'Arc to join your team. It's a bit, oh, and when you fuse with the T-Rex's soul, also in Chronostones. Orion's ridiculous, sure, but we crossed that bridge long ago, baby! Speaking of bridges, it's time to go fish! I'm already sitting, thank you, says Zenthor. I also have no clue what you're talking about. me taking the opposite position just to, like, I don't know, throw some interest into the discussion or something. I disagree. I don't know anything about the discussion, but assume I disagree and tell me more. My dreams about Inazuma 11 Victory Road made more sense than Chronostones, says Shadowcat. Look, I hated on Chronostones for a long time, but eventually, I don't know if you could call it growing up or what, but I spent so much time consuming media that total mental roadblock of literally just never wanting to engage with something ever for an arbitrary reason, I don't really have that anymore. If I have a really damn good reason, like the company doing shady things with really weird political stuff, then, you know, I might just not talk about it on stream and not engage with the company's products. And so, ignoring that sort of thing, I'm not just going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't have time. It has time travel, so I'm never going to watch it. I spent 10 years not watching Chronostones because it has time travel. Time to watch Chronostones. Okay, level 5 does wacky crap. It's, you know, not well written, but it's enjoyable, right? That's all I need. The music's really good. Mara, baby. What's up, Akarincho? Welcome back. CBF, welcome back as well. I'm doing fantastic, incredible, amazing. Thanks for asking. I've always asked with me, I've always wanted to know with me watching your videos, how old are you, Espito? I pretend that I'm older than I am. It's just a running joke. To be honest, it's just because I don't like Fortnite. I watched like half of Chronostones and I thought it was just okay. So Shadowcat, I thought you've seen the full thing multiple times. My life is a lie. Return to title screen. And then we don't need to. We didn't fish them. We don't need to return. Okay. So now that the fish are verified spawned, we got to go back to the tower and swap our party members. For the guys we want to level up. Are Chronostones the things that define who you are as a person, SN? Oh, God. Like birthstones or whatever? Is that what you're saying? That was funny. You know, Chronostones is so you know Level 5, the creators of Fantasy Life, they have a few different franchises. One of them is about soccer. There is a season where they time travel to recruit the ghosts of dinosaurs to defeat a man who later reincarnates as the entire galaxy or something. I don't know. I didn't watch Galaxy yet, but I think that's what happens. And so you don't like have to love Chronostones if you don't love it. You don't have to force yourself to love it. It's kind of different. So we're leveling up Olivia because I have a funny build idea for her. And we're also leveling up Laura because she's also a paladin, which means she has a funny, you know, she can do the funny build too. And for my next trick, I'll fuse with a hurricane, says Shadowcat. The way that Xanark repeatedly calls the hurricane a female, which I get because all hurricanes have girl names, but the way he keeps saying that he fused with her and that they became one, it's a little weird because he's in, like, middle school, especially. And he's also driving a motorcycle for some reason. To be fair, he's literally being chased by the police, so I think the reason is that he doesn't care about the law. But bro really needs to, like, tone down the language when talking about his experience with the hurricane, because he was like, you know, it made me a new man. I was never the same after we merged. I'm like, okay. He's like, she's still inside me. I'm like, whoa, okay. On a different time slot, buddy. It's just a little much for me. After more than 300 hours, we're going to be playing that game at the end of August, by the way. It's by the creators of Fantasy Life, if you're terrified. Yeah, level 900 Grove is the key, Akarincho, especially with the Monster House. I have a video on leveling 100 to all the combat lives using Monster Houses. They're so easy. Well, okay, not that easy. They're kind of high level. Must smack with dark corn. I like the dark effects when I'm swinging my corn. How cool is it? It's epic. Chris asks, why was I in timeout? Because you missed the part where I told the chat 500 times that I was hesitant about even mentioning the fact that I lacked the Axe of Time recipe, because I didn't want anybody to spoil it for me. And I said that repeatedly before and after mentioning that I was lacking the recipe. And you were the only person in the chat to say where it was. And then when I timed you out, I explained on stream why you were timed out. It's unfortunate you didn't hear any of that, but it's okay. Don't worry. Celestia says that I have to forgive people. She's trying to make me a better person. Uelia's kind of a brat, though, so not sure if that's going to work out. It's fine. No worries, Chris. Chris said Chronostones is strange. Oh, you're actually based for that. Don't worry. You did not get timed out for that. That's actually... I totally agree. I think Chronostones has the best openings in the entire series. Though. You are always welcome to talk about yourself. I'm always interested in your day. You might ask, why? Here's the cold, hard truth, buddy. I have nothing to do while grinding levels in this game. So if you tell me something, I'll probably find it interesting. Do what you will with that information. Okay. We are going to craft some magical milkshakes to take on this fish. Oh, crap, man. What did we not buy? We're missing beach watermelons. Tool shop in Ginormosia. I think it's here, dude. I think it's here for cash nuts. You're about to get the platinum trophy for the PS5 version. You just have to recruit Uelia, Chris. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Dude, have you played Astrobot? Whenever I ask about Astrobot, people say they don't have a PS5. But you have a PS5. If you guys have played Astrobot, they release new levels, and they're really epic. They're like super ultra epic, like Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. It's like that epic, dude. Except it's more epic than Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn because that game's not that epic. It's just called Extra Epic. But the new Astrobot levels actually are extra epic. You know what I mean? Just clarifying information. Zenthor asks, your magical milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. You know what? I'm waiting for level 5 to add that as a quest. Because I think they could fit that somehow in the quest description. And I've been thinking that I'm waiting for them to add a quest with that. You read my mind. I'm ashamed to admit it, but you actually did read my mind there. I've been thinking about that. That's like a thing that they would add. Level 5 had a poster that was supposed to be Miku in the first Yokai Watch. And they also have a poster that's supposed to be Miku in the second Yokai Watch. But the kicker is, the one in the second Yokai Watch looks significantly different from Miku, while the first one looks exactly like her. Did level 5 get nervous once Yokai Watch popped off in popularity? And toned down the reference? It's like literally Miku. It's just really low resolution. Like very low res Miku. Then they do Sakura Miku in Yokai Watch 2, so it's more plausibly deniable. It's like pink Miku. Yeah, but everybody knows Sakura Miku, you know? You ain't fooling anybody. Mentioning Miku in Fortnite? Oh, yeah, that's a timeout, buddy. No, I'm joking. Don't worry. I'm joking. Miku in Crossworlds? I was already... What if it was Luca instead as Zenthor? Okay, that's a valid point, but she has, like, the long ponytails. The long twin tails. I did not say that. Forgive me. That's a good question. Are the innuendos in this game typical of level 5 games as Angel? You know, there's not quite as much level 5-ness in this game, and I'd chalk that up to the original being mostly done by Inofune's team, Concept. But now that they've been integrated into level 5, and level 5 as a company and Hino are more directly working on Fantasy Life, I would expect the DLCs to have more funky jokes. There are a couple in this game. There are definitely a couple. But I would say, like, overall, this game's shockingly, like, kind of playing feeling. I don't want to blame Concept, but I kind of want to blame Concept. You know what I mean? Remember Spooky Big Burns from the Victory Road demo? As Shadowcat. Who? Do not say dub names around me, bro. My brain's gonna stop working. I don't know any of them. Okay, milkshakes are here. Time to save. This is my first level 5 game, but I'll try more based on you, says Angel. Oh, we did it! We did it! Level 5 gains their second fan. If you've heard of Professor Layton, they made that game. But Layton is definitely not for everybody. Because Layton says that it's about puzzles, but it's actually about... How do I put this? Professor Layton is actually about asking which is heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks. And then the answer is the pound of bricks has a really depressing backstory, so the pound of bricks is heavier. You know what I mean? It's a really fun game if you like that kind of stuff, but some people get really tired of the God shows really fast, and that's the entire game. You either love it or you hate it. Chris says, I'm more a fan of their concert titles like Ni no Kuni, which I started the remastered version. Ooh, excellent choice, Chris. Ni no Kuni is so fun. I have fond memories of that game. And you played the first 3 Layton games. Yeah, they're pretty interesting. I never had a chance to play the third, but I've heard it's like the best one. So I do want to. I think Godfish should be max level 101 because it's Godfish, says Zenthor. That's so true. So now we just save. And we make sure all of our guys have the XP up. Wait, hang on. It's fine. Yeah, XP up goggles. Yeah. We're good. You finally got a Godfish after 200 hours. Galardic, welcome back. Congrats. Was it in Ginormosia or while rolling treasure groves? I am mad curious to see when they add the second kind of treasure groves and how they'll work. That would also explain, by the way, the second kind of treasure grove would also explain why the Guardian Golem appears in the key art for treasure groves, because he would be a boss that appears in those. Oh, you got Godfish in treasure groves, Zenthor. Nice. So we'll harvest while our teammates do a little dance. Same thing, really. I think Olivia could potentially be better than Fern. I'm working on it. You're gonna need to give me time for this video. It's gonna take forever. Oh crap, dude. My sweet spot. I lost the Godfish. I should take an angling buddy. Because they do need to be leveled. The lead up for these boss fish takes so long, and I get it because it's fishing, but... What do you think, bro? Are more monsters in the 3DS version than this one, as Akarinshu? I looked in the files. Level 5 is making new monsters. I know the names of some of them. I refuse to say. Because I don't think anybody wants me to. I wouldn't want me to. But I would want me to reassure people that they're making stuff for DLC. I'm basically going by my own preferences, which are pretty extreme compared to normal people's, so we should be fine. Crafting buddies are enough for SP, says Ray. Oh yeah, that's true. We can level crafting buddies with this. That's a great idea. Excellent. Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Remember, Healer says, that's enough for me. Knowing more are coming. Yeah, exactly. I think one big question people had was just like, what are they going to add? Are they just going to make bigger versions of normal enemies or whatever? No. And how much are they going to add? Is it just going to be a little bit? It's a lot! Including a massive feature that I was already speculating about being cut from the base game. I won't say what it is, but in past streams, I've speculated about a massive feature being hinted at through dialogue from Strangelings on the island. They, like, all seem to mention something that doesn't exist. They're gonna add it in a patch, and it's gonna be awesome. But, like, I don't know anything about it. It's just good to know they're working on stuff. Hope they add another renamed Cave Star with no visible differences. Shadowcat, they better do more of that, yeah. I hope so. Hey, you're working on your base camp, Goldheart? Perfect. Do you think some of the devs are watching your vids, Espito? They used to when they had an American office. They also loved my website. But they shut down all of their American offices to reduce cost of development and centralize everything in their HQ. That really seems to be working great for them. So, no hard feelings. Does the file have the release date for the DLC or anything that suggests it? Asks Chris. No. The answer is no. Naturally, I looked far and wide for any traces of that. It's gonna be a while. They're planning a massive expansion that has nothing to do with Ginormosia. They have repeatedly said, expand the world will add a bunch of different stuff, but it's going to focus on Ginormosia. That means level 5 is planning another expansion for the future, probably this holiday. Probably Christmas. Level 5 is supporting Inazuma for the next few months after launch. Can you tell us how you got the files, Espito? Actually, the reason why I'm being so vague is because the terms of service when you open the game say that you're not allowed to say certain things when streaming. Also, the Fantasy Life Discord is trying to keep data mines on the down low, too. So I'm trying to strike a decent balance. I think level 5, as usual, we used to do this sort of thing back in the day. Back in the day, we used to agree for Yokai Watch that level 5 does a crap job of promoting themselves. So it's okay to talk about the fact that they're making things, but it's best to not say the specific things. Old habits die hard, I guess. I'm probably not saying anything anyone here doesn't know, but Level 5 released another code for reaching 1.2 million sales, says Dave Incognito. Oh, yes, perfect. The legendary one, right? It's really good. Chris says he's got to think about 100%ing Donkey Kong Bonanza. I am going ape over that game. Donkey Kong Bananas is coming soon. It's going to be the greatest Switch game of all time. It's going to be the greatest game of all time since Mario Odyssey, which changed my life. How did it change my life? Well, I went bing bing and wahoo, so, like, I was never the same after that, bro. Seriously. You just don't get it. If you don't get it, it's okay. But the bing bing, wahoo! Oh, man. Oh, the endorphins, bro. The neurons firing. Changed my life. The doctors don't understand. They refuse to accept it. It's going to be the greatest game for a month until Victory Road comes out, says Shadowcat. That's how life works these days, right? You work your ass off to make something. People finally notice it, and then they forget about it the next day because somebody releases Fortnite. New Fortnite update. If Level 5 releases DLC late, they will lose players, says Akarinchu. Yeah, Monster Hunter has never had any success ever with releasing a substantial expansion a significant time after launch. That never works out for Monster Hunter. That's a failure of a franchise. Every single time that they've done that for Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter 2, Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter Portable, Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter World, definitely forgetting a few here. Yeah, none of those. They all sold like crap, right? None of them broke any records for Capcom. Taking your time to develop a significant DLC while also keeping the game alive with smaller free updates in the meantime, that's a terrible strategy. That would never work for anybody. I bet they'd only sell a few million copies. Square Enix would hate that. We can make the numbers go higher. So we should do everything we can for that. Hey, Godfish, buddy, give me the sweet spot. How many Godfish pieces do we need, Ass Angel? We don't really need the Godfish pieces, though he does make an amazing dish. We mainly need the XP for Angler and the accompanying buddies. Remember, Healer says, August is going to be a hot month. DLC coming then for sure. That's kind of, I was thinking expand the world at the start of August, because it gives them significant time to develop it, while also leaving room for Victory Road to breathe at the end of the month. Bros, are we okay? Bros! We got him. Rip those lips! Those god lips! You'll never understand what it's like to rip the Godfish's lips. It's okay to be jealous. You don't have to hide it. I could buy the game on Steam. I bought a big laptop in 2024 and never used it, says Chris. Oh, you did? Nice job. See, that's your first step to becoming a true Steam gamer. Buying something and then never using it. Your next step is opening Steam during a summer sale and buying some games that you'll never play. Then, when you're feeling really crafty, you can buy the complete editions when they're on sale, so you get DLC you'll never play, too. I'm really good at that. I'm an expert at that. I have all $50,000 of DLC for Train Simulator. I'm a big fan. One day I'll play Train Simulator for real, and then I'll see what the hype is about. All my viewers in Germany can tell me. Apparently that game sells like crazy over there. I'm not saying it's a bad game, I'm just saying I've never played it, and it has thousands of dollars of DLC. I'm serious. I think it's because of licensing fees is why. People want them to replicate real trains to give them credit. People want them to replicate real trains, but that costs money. What can they do about it? Pito says, sorry for asking rainbow questions. That's what I'm here for. The rules for my chat actually say that I like random questions. You're curious where my username comes from. Okay, so I am from the GameCube generation, related to your question earlier. And so Pikmin 2 is my favorite game of all time. When I got into Pokemon, grass was my favorite type. I came up with the name 101 Leafy for Pokemon. Pretty sure 101 comes from how you have 100 Pikmin in Pikmin. The more that I've thought about this for quite a few years, and I think that's why I went with it initially. I was really freaking obsessed with Pikmin, dude. Like, it was insane. Maybe not insane because that's a really good game, so it's understandable, but it was a healthy obsession with Pikmin 2. Pikmin 1 I love. Pikmin 2 is just like amazing. Pikmin 2 is like the Pikmin game. Pikmin 1 is like the arcade experience, you know? It's like Mario Bros. It's like Super Mario Bros. Versus in the Famicom arcade machine versus the at-home edition versus Mario 3. That's a terrible analogy. Ignore that. I never said that. That's a terrible. It's like Punch-Out Arcade versus Punch-Out the NES game. It's like technically a sequel, but also kind of different. But also, the NES game is still an arcade experience, so that's a terrible analogy. I'm really bad at this. Grass was my favorite type before Gen 6 made Mawile great with the fairy type. Chris says, Blossom is my favorite Johto Pokemon. Oh, Blossom's a great choice. What an underrated Pokemon. I love that one. Really cute. I like the different branching evolutions in Pokemon. Are you guys excited for Digimon Time Strangers? Speaking of branching evolutions, Digimon has a heck of a lot of those. I have all the Pikmin games and haven't played any of them, says Angel. That's perfectly fine. That happens with so many games. Uh-oh, I'm out of SP. Okay, this is going terribly. We're wasting so much time. Let's go to the tower and bring someone along, like a crafter for SP. Just to level someone else up. Do not change the area rank, but you can change your party formation. For crafting, we can do meat and egg dishes. I actually want to level that up. Yeah. Why not? You got the woolly mount from a white woolly in a treasure grove, Chris? Nice, dude. The mounts are so rare. They're like actually crazy rare. I think it's because they really wanted something in the game to just be truly rare, and mounts are a decent idea for that. But wow, are they rare if you're not using drop rate up? And even when you are, they're pretty rare. All right, now we have a crafter in our party for bonus SP gains. Ray says, if your meter keeps decreasing, use the first charge attack to increase it easily. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the light one, right? Because you get 3 taps in. Sometimes I forget to do that. The drop box mount is annoying to get, says Chris T. Welcome back, Chris T. And I totally agree with that. They are kind of annoying, huh? I should complete the Mount video series. I know it's kind of repetitive, but I kind of just want to have it complete. Just to make me happy. We can do that, right? The question is, how many Inazuma Hisatsus am I going to upload next month, dude? If I upload all 4,000 Hisatsus, how many people are going to unsubscribe? I already have a playlist of like 100. The only other mount that you don't have is the Camel, Digital Deluxe Dragon, and the Pegasus. Oh, the Pegasus is free. You go grab it from the box in the guild, dude. It's literally free at the start of the game. All 550 at once is Shadowcat. Oh, it's 550? That's not too bad. I can do that. Okay, we're uploading all of them. One a day. For 2 years. It's happening. But maybe compilations so that they aren't shorts. I tried daily short uploads. Didn't work. Unless you're crapping out AI. Then I guess it works then. I saw someone who used AI to do the same exact dance with 100 different anime girls. And he posted them all on the same day and got over 100,000 views on each of them. This is who I'm competing against? Well, thanks for watching me, guys. Because the future's getting increasingly grim. I just don't like to talk about it too much. There'll be like waves of 50 or more Hisatsus, says Shadowcat, once Galaxy, Ares, and Orion routes come out. Dude, the Ashura! I need to see in the game. Please have the Ashura in before then. Or I'm gonna cry. Thank you, Alon, for your 66 SP. That's a massive chunk. Jeez, what a difference. It's insanely easy with Alon on our side. Get a debuff in there from a combat life, get some SP regen from a crafter life, and you're perfectly fine. Without entering combat, make sure to save your game and exit, and they'll respawn. A big shark will spawn and attack you once you kill both of the fish, but you can just save and exit, and the fish will respawn. Shadowcat wants to do daily uploads building up to Victory Road, but you don't have enough ideas? Okay, I'll tell you a really secret about the daily upload leading up to a game launch hustle. Do you want me to tell you a secret about the daily uploads leading up to a game launch hustle? It's not that it doesn't work, but YouTube's changed for the worse, and nothing you do matters, while everything you do matters. On one hand, it's good to have an active channel that's getting views, because that has YouTube know that people are watching your things and that they like your channel. But here's what I'm gonna say, okay? Your perspective really changes when somebody actively follows you and comments every single day, and then you try really hard on something and they go, oh, I was using YouTube all day and I didn't even see it, and then a bunch of other people see the same thing. Like, there is a significant plateau in time investment for YouTube, and it's more complicated than you might think. It doesn't just come down to the type of content that you're creating. It straight up comes down to if people are even going to be there to watch it. Even if Inazuma's a popular topic, if you decide to make videos about the wrong thing, it might not have as much of a positive impact as you're hoping the day that the game launches. I'm not trying to discourage you, because let me make this very clear. I freaking love when people who watch me start making videos. I think it's the coolest thing. I love the creative side of making videos. And if that not to compliment myself, but if that can help inspire anybody, then that's just like the best thing ever, because I really like making things. I really like being creative. And so I do want to encourage you to cover Victory Road. But if you're trying to decide between making a video every day and making a video every other day, and you also can't think of like really amazing ideas, then you're going to burn yourself out and you're not going to see any positive effects compared to making a video every other day. Like, it's going to be just as effective. And you're going to be so much like healthier the day the game comes out. And then because you're healthier, both physically and mentally, you'll be able to go out the videos when the game launches with your full effort. That's my strategy. I'm not saying it's a good strategy or not, but I'm telling you that that's what my strategy is, and you're free to copy it if you're curious. Because, yeah, you might be expecting me to say, oh, Shadowcat might have been expecting me because he's been watching me for a while. He might have been expecting me to say, I'll do daily Victory Road uploads leading up to the game too. That's going to be exciting. Make sure to watch out for those. But I actually didn't have that follow-up just because I think, yeah, there are occasions where people will even notice, like, oh, wow, you really streamed 8 hours yesterday and then didn't stream today, huh? That's kind of funny. And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely funny, but is it good for the channel? Maybe? I don't know. That's why I tell people that talking about numbers is so complicated, because the biggest, like, black box, do you guys understand the concept of a black box? You can look at it, you can say that it's a box, you can say that it weighs something, you can say that it's black, and you know that you can stack it with other blocks, but you don't really know anything more about it. That's kind of what YouTube is. The most dangerous thing for YouTube is to send your brain into a fit because you're trying to figure it out. That's probably the worst thing to do for YouTube. Like, 100%. Yeah, remember, Healer, burnout is creative's worst enemy. Absolutely, yeah. It happens with everything. YouTube, I've noticed, has been making changes to their creator dashboard to sort of gamify it and encourage you to not just pursue the good metrics, but pursue literally bad metrics. YouTube will make you feel bad about yourself when you do well. I don't really like to talk about numbers too in depth, but they're also totally public, and I'm aware of that. Especially because I do this sort of thing professionally as well, and so I know that it's important to talk to people about their views on how a channel is going, right? Not that my personal channel is such serious business, but dude, we've been fishing for like 3 hours. You expect me to not lock in on any topic that you hand me? You could probably, like, show me a picture of a cake and I'd talk for the next hour about how it looks delicious or terrible, depending on my opinion. Like, don't overthink it here. But when we did well with Fantasy Life, when Fantasy Life launched, YouTube actually started adapting the way that it showed me my video statistics, right? YouTube eventually started telling me that I was doing poorly when I wasn't. And it was extremely repeatedly frustrating to log into YouTube and have YouTube tell me things with colors that fundamentally disagree with my vision for the channel. Because to go from one amount of views per video to another amount of views per video is really good and exciting, because it means people are actually finding your content, which is the biggest, scariest part of YouTube. YouTube's the only social media that won't show your freaking posts to people. And YouTube's also the social media where you actually have to work hard, like creatively, as a creative on your posts. Some YouTubers pay people to make their videos for them, but obviously I don't do that, right? I mean, I think some people assume I do, but I don't. And so there is a majorly creative aspect to it, the thumbnails and everything. You'll notice I have a lot of fun with them, and even though it takes me longer to make them, sometimes I'll just, you know, make it how I want, because I think it's going to be really funny if I put something in the corner or whatever. Like, probably the biggest example is when I was streaming Megaton Musashi and we had like Jiwanyan like in the baby making scene. That's probably my favorite thumbnail of all time, just because somebody brought that up to me a couple weeks ago. They were like, Leafy, do you remember the Megaton Musashi thumbnail? And I was like, oh crap, I totally forgot about that. So now that's a good example. rambling about thumbnails that I like. What's up, Nat? He says, hi, thanks for the videos and for helping me out with Fantasy Life. Yeah, absolutely. And so, to wrap up my YouTube story here, YouTube actually started, like, instead of giving me if you make YouTube videos, then you know what I'm talking about. Instead of giving me the green arrow, it started giving me the gray dash. And it started saying that I'm, like, not improving for my videos. Okay. If I go from one base viewership per video to another, and it's a significant jump, and it stays up there consistently between each videos, you can't tell me that I'm not improving. That's not true. That's not how YouTube works. It's very difficult to tread water. It's extremely easy to start drowning. You know what I mean, right? I took a while to make that, Yeah, YouTube's trying to freaking pit me, dude! Seriously, but you understand, you get it, bro! YouTube hitting you with the performance improvement plan is freaking, embarrassing as hell. It is really weird, man. It is super weird. Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, to put it in real-world terms. YouTube is really trying to have a chat with you that you do not need to be having. The moment you improve your statistics, if you consistently keep those statistics at the improvement, YouTube will assume that as your new normal and start telling you you're not improving again. Way to make you feel like dog shit about yourself, just to be honest about my experience in June. Obviously, I'm always aware of my stats, and I don't trust the YouTube dashboard to spoon-feed me those sorts of things. But I am saying that you guys know that I hate this era of too many notifications. Why do I have, like, 1 trillion notifications for everything these days? Why is YouTube giving me notifications when I log in? Like, oh, you know, they do, like, the top 10 videos that you have performing. This video's 10 out of 10 in your top 10, it goes. Okay, well, let me look at that. All 10 of my top 10 were double my goal. And so, YouTube was fundamentally incorrect about the stats. And the goal was just for fun, right? If you're curious, I really like seeing 1,000 on my videos. I get really sad if they have less than 1,000. It's brain poisoning from social media. But some people find these things interesting because some creators are like, I'm under a contract, I can't talk about it. So it's like, okay. So for YouTube to say, you know, in the past 24 hours, this video got 2,000 views. It's only 10 out of 10 of your top 10. It sucks. It's like, no. I was afraid the video wouldn't get 1,000. I was really afraid it wouldn't get 1,000. So for YouTube to tell me with graphics and colors that I did poorly, for people who don't understand YouTube, that's really freaking dangerous. YouTube's trying to send them on a, like, climax chasing treadmill where it gets exponentially harder to reach each time. Going from 1 to 2,000 views in a video is way harder. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? Even if you're getting 100,000 views consistently across 2 weeks, YouTube's then gonna say you're not improving, you need to improve. What the hell is that? That's an unhealthy mindset to instill in new creators. And it explains a lot about some perspectives that I see that are kind of warped. What a lot of people don't understand, and this is probably because I like you guys, I'll tell you something that is kind of a little too open. But I'll still tell it to you guys because I like you. Yeah, I'm kind of joking with that. But the hardest, scariest part of YouTube is wondering if people will come back. And I'm not trying to guilt you or anything. But if you want to know, like, the true thing for YouTube, it's not about growing. It's about making sure the people that you've engaged don't forget who you are in a year. So, like, Pokemon ZA is coming out in October, right? I made a lot of Pokemon content for Scarlet and Violet, and it did great, and we got a lot of new people in there. But they don't show up for any of the other content. Why? Because YouTube doesn't show it to them, because they're not going to click it, and blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about that part. But once you do this thing for long enough, you start to wonder things like, when ZA comes out, will the people who watched my Scarlet and Violet stuff watch the ZA videos? But then the question actually becomes, will YouTube recommend it to them? What will likely happen is a couple people will say YouTube recommended it to me and I recognized you. And then everybody else I ask will say, I never even saw the videos. I never even knew you came back for Legend ZA. It's very interesting, right? It's not like new information, but somebody was asking me about, Shadowcat was asking me about getting into content creation with Inazuma Victory Road, which is a very content creatable game that I've been looking forward to for a while. Hey Zidkins, what's up? Do you consider the next map bigger than Ginormosia? Yeah, Karinchu. Ginormosia is big in its own way. But let's just say level 5 is cooking some big stuff, dude. YouTube kept telling me you're still live for the past few days, says Triple. I always have the Mario Kart stream up. Somebody started posting a huge rant in the Mario Kart stream because, like, he posted it at, like, 3 a.m. my time, and he started ranting about how I wasn't answering his fantasy life question in the Mario Kart stream while I was sleeping. I was like, okay, I'm really sorry, dude. I'm really sorry. But, also, it says Mario Kart. I love content, says Member Healer. When you have a stream that says 24/7 Mario Kart and someone doesn't like that it's not Fantasy Life, that's when you really love content. Like, that's when it starts to become peak content creation. It teaches you things about the world, dude. About how to make peace with yourself and the fact that you can never be perfect. This game has stolen my life, says Member Healer. Oh, you love content in Fantasy Life. Yeah. Yeah. The mega content. I'm curious how much they're going to implement into the game versus cutting. But one thing's for sure, we're getting a whole expansion with a new rank for lives. It's on my list to catch a Mario Kart stream for the lore, says Member Healer. I'll give you all the lore on grinding streams like this. If you ask me for any lore, probably not. Don't ask for, Yokai Watch fans know what I was going to say. We've already given the lore on him. Wink. With all those things you're saying about next DLC, it makes me really excited for the release, says Vito. Yes, be excited, do not give up hope. That's the biggest message I'm trying to send. Level 5 is preparing to deliver. They are packing and shipping, baby. They are moving. This is not a situation where it's like level 5 is not adding anything. Level 5 has left us out dry before. They have, like, made jerky with us and just dried us on the clothesline for years without content. This is not that sort of thing, and it's not even like they have the skeleton of content. It's like, whoa, accidentally stumbled upon like 4 different boss fish. And that, don't go around, here's why it's dangerous to say things that are data mined on stream. Somebody's going to tell somebody that there will be 4 boss fish in an update, and that is not the truth. The truth is they will probably have way more than 4. They just only have 4 in the files right now. And they will probably be added in separate updates too. I'm not the kind of person to make a big assumption. I just like to give a bit of hype. Now, Axel, thank you so much for your super generous super chat. I really appreciate it. You didn't attach a message. Oh, but you did. You attached thank you for all your guides, Leafy. Of course. Thank you so much for the support. Been working super hard on Fantasy Life content for a while now, so I really appreciate it. You know, give me the lore on why Pikachu is the best Digimon to use in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel versus Sonic the Hedgehog, who's running mono blue control deck, says Master Zen. Well, first, it's very important to consider Sonic's recent appearance in Magic the Gathering, because I think that gives him a serious edge in any sort of control-type deck. Lore-wise, Sonic has actually been playing a lot of cards recently. Whether Pikachu would beat Digimon, we can actually compare Pikachu's performance in Smash Bros. To Digimon Digital Rumble on GameCube, right? Or whatever that game is. They did like a crappy Smash Bros. Ripoff with like really weird combos. It's really broken. I remember watching a tournament for it once, like a stream. It was really weird. I think Renamon won. Because naturally, Tamers is the best Digimon anime. The issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that the fight would actually finish before people could read the entire description on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Would lose by default. Timeout, you know? Hasn't every franchise done a Smash Bros. Ripoff as Zenthor? I guess the difference between ripoff and loving homage is quality. Digimon was definitely more of a... Careful now. Loving ripoff. I'm gonna define two categories and then say it's a third one. That's really smart of me. People are gonna understand that. You're implying Yu-Gi-Oh! Players racist? Or just play the cards, and then if my opponent corrects me, screw it. I make mistakes. I'm human. I really want a snow or ice zone, says a Karinchu. I would like to see it too. I have zero true hard evidence of an ice area. I don't know if they would implement one, but I would say if you would like to see one, then you shouldn't rule it out. But this is a case where we truly don't know. I saw an enemy name, a placeholder. They have, to go into details, they have icons for enemies that are placeholders. And it just says the name of the enemy. It says placeholder icon and with the name of the enemy. One of them kind of seems like it could go in an ice area. That means nothing. I'm not saying to go around shouting from the rooftops that we're getting an ice area. And I'm definitely not saying it's going to be ice. We also don't know if it's a placeholder that will never be used in the final game or an update. So for now, it's really still a Frosty Radishy situation, where we just kind of have some enemies that would make sense there. Whether level 5 had to cut it or not is... big question. I believe the snow globe you can buy for goddess fruits in an upgraded Marco's shop is a nice hint, says Member Healer. Oh my god, you think the snow globe is actually showing us somewhere we'll get to go in the DLC? That's like such a level 5 thing. They've done that sort of thing before, like the Kingdom Hearts teaser for the next content. Poseidon Swordfish looks locked in there. That face, dude. Oh, you know what? There is a teaser for the DLC in this game. I just didn't post it yet. So I came across something that I thought would be a teaser while I was recording myself play. I had not data mined the game yet. I knew nothing about the files. When I engage with the dialogue, I freak out, and I ask you guys if you think that it's a teaser for the DLC. This is something I recorded a couple weeks ago and did not post it because it's dialogue with Uelia. Would you guys want me to post it? I think they hit a teaser. I love content, so yes, says Member Healer. Okay, because a few weeks ago, I kind of like had a rule where I wasn't posting Uelia, and I didn't want to like, oh, I had a really cool dialogue with this character that I haven't posted anything about yet. That would have been kind of awkward. But we've put Uelia in a couple things now. We did the Strangeling video. And so when I was making the Strangeling tier list, I was like, oh, I should really post that short now that we're kind of talking more about Uelia. Because it's pretty good. I think it only comes up when you max her relationship out. So I'll post the short tomorrow. Uelia poster girl when, as Zenthor? Like, of the franchise? Or like, body pillow illustration? I'm failing to understand the phrase here. My lawyer says to be careful. I'll leave that up to your imagination, says Zenthor. We got swimsuit Snow in the summer event for Fantasy Life Online. I used her in a thumbnail of mine, and I got 0 comments about it during the entire stream. Not a single person mentioned it. And after the VOD got uploaded, not a single person commented. I was actually shocked. I thought it would be funny. Everybody already knew about it. I thought I would be like, here's some obscure Fantasy Life Online trivia that nobody knows about. Everybody already knew about it because they did it in the localized version. I didn't know that until after I did the thumbnail. I thought I was gonna surprise people. I actually looked that up. The wiki calls it Imp Snow for some reason, says Zenthor. She's like supposed to be a succubus, so they localized it Imp. I forget what the Japanese term was. I think it's Little Devil in Japanese. Which Imp is also a synonym for. Don't worry, everyone. I think we also got Summer Glen, too, if that's more up your alley. Level 5 believes in true equality. Ripping lips. Everyone's lips can get ripped. Don't worry. Pito says, oh, Summer Glen, too much information. I forget who else they did. Might have just been those two. There we go. Did you guys know Edwards from Fantasy Life Online? He's an alchemist in that game. But here's the kicker. He's pretty closely tied to the story expansions. And his entire thing is like having a fleet of mechanics that can make flying machines. By sheer coincidence, Fantasy Life Online had a planned, announced, but canceled pilot life. Don't you think that's interesting, considering this game's themes? In Fantasy Life Online, non-combat lives were more interesting because they still had combat skill sets and movesets. So I was kind of interested to see how it would fight. But that sort of thing is said and gone now, huh? So Radnoa more or less calls you a devil at the beginning of the game, says Zenthor. Yeah. Like you're being mischievous. You're a little imp. You're being mischievous, right? You're doing minorly evil deeds, like slacking off. Didn't Edward say something about a present era Mysteria, says Goldheart. That's from the beta of the game, yeah. Our island, the area that we explore in the past, we were just supposed to explore the present, too. I have a lot of proof for this. Not beyond the original Nintendo Direct. I found a lot of proof for this in the files. The explorable area and your customizable island were meant to be one and the same. And you would have time travel on top of that. This is fully depicted in the first trailer, if you go back. Here's a freaking gotcha that the naysayers can't deny. When does Rem send you back in time in this game? She actually says that go back to the original Nintendo Direct trailer, guys. Rem says, I will now send you back in time. When the hell does that happen? Never. The truth is, present era Mysteria does exist. We should be able to explore it, but they cut it due to development time issues. I do think that's what happened. Now, whether the past world was going to be as fully featured as it is now... That's for you to decide. I know nothing. Edward mentioned something about current Riveria on postgame, says Goldheart. That's because Riveria is canon. I would really like it if we could go back. I doubt they'll do it, but I would like to see it. I just doubt it. Couldn't you look at her sending Growler to you to bring you back in time as Zenthor? You're trying to get me on a technicality, which is perfectly fine. I like those sorts of discussions. I just don't want to confuse people. I am specifically talking about cut story content that was shown in the initial Nintendo Direct that is not present in the final game. Though I do think it's super interesting that you do correct me on the fact that Rem's powers still include traveling in time. They did not retcon that. That is very interesting. Imagine going back to Castell, OMG, says Pito. They even mentioned like Port Puerto and stuff, or whatever they call it in the other languages, in like Olivia's dialogue and Orlando's. They have a lot of good references to the original. You know, I definitely didn't see anything for that when I looked in the files. I'd be a bit more coy about it if I did. I do think that originally our customizable island was meant to be more closely tied to Riveria, like geographically, but that is the absolute end of it. That is the absolute end of it. I think maybe at one point, maybe we weren't necessarily in Mysteria, right? Okay, maybe we were like offshore Riveria. I don't know. But we were never, they never cut any areas or anything. I wonder why Rem was locked out of going through time in the story as Triple, because she was originally going to be on your island. This wasn't just theorized by people from the Nintendo Direct trailer. If you guys want to know, in a beta screenshot of the game that I found from them testing it in the files, they're like testing like the early like part of the game, and it's from the part of the beta where realistically it would have been before any of this stuff got reworked, and she's being put in a house with the rest of like the starter guys. And so the theory that you were supposed to take care of her on the island, I think goes with this. Naturally, I wouldn't rule out her appearing in the future, but I think this specific screenshot that I saw was truly of from the time before Comsep underdelivered. We do have some screenshots from that time, before the game was fully overhauled. I just can't post them or I'm going to get skewered by level 5. I'm going to get struck by lightning from above and put on a cross and set on fire and turn into the new Inazuma 11 Hisatsu move for Jeanne d'Arc. It's going to be tough, bro. The ring pond on the island beach is suspicious. It's hella suspicious, dude. What is that for? I think it'll be too much for a future thing, says Pito. Yeah, I agree. They're totally adding new islands, says Chris. I didn't see anything pointing to new islands, strangely enough. I can check again. I think it would be a separate map that we teleport to. Ring Pond is for getting Strangelings back, says Zenthor. Oh, interesting. Huh. In the art, there's a tree there. Yeah, they reworked a lot of stuff. I do have a screenshot from that. It's just like on the freaking PC version. I'm not pretending to be special, but post at your own risk. Oh, the ring pond is for getting your Strangeling stuck, says Zenthor. Oh, that's hilarious. The stupid AI. Goldheart says, if they add 3DS for Varia and let you travel to it through the ship on Tropica Isles, I'll flip. That's what I'd love to see. That ship is hella suspicious to me. That's like the most suspicious thing in the entire game. You can like fade to black and step on top of the ship and walk around and talk to people, and they go, oh, we're planning to take off soon. And that's all they say. Huh? Huh? Literally, huh? Ship is sauce, says Pito. Yeah. If they walk close to the ring, they can't get over the lip, says Zenthor. Of the pond? That's nasty. But a terrible trick to play on your Strangelings. Let's go, XP. Eeg XP. Where's our skill board? We need more XP to... Yeah. We are not getting enough XP from that guy. He should be giving us 1 million easily. Time for some XP buffs. And some fishing buffs while we're at it. Minus 15% SP consumptions for charging attacks. And it's only 8. Do you guys think that's why fishing is so freaking hard for me compared to you up until now? Do you think that's why it's been so difficult? Because, yeah, I think it is. Bottom middle node is so good. Oh, do you get bigger sweet spots on fishing? Plus 20% skill charge rate, plus 20% special skill damage. Oh, holy crap. Thank you. I totally forgot to get the hero thing. Oh, I'm all out of skill points, that's why. Max SP goes crazy for Fisher, huh? What else? Oh, they're definitely adding more free updates. You know how we got a free update with like 3 armor sets? I think they're gonna do that again. When will they do it? I have no clue. But I think they'll do it with the camera update. They'll give us like a couple more outfits. Like a couple. And by that I mean recolors. But hey, maybe we'll get some defense creep while we're at it. Wouldn't mind some of that. Member Healer says I don't need any more Jerkin recolors. Oh, don't worry. It's something else you've got too many recolors of. But, like, there could be more to it. I think it will be hype, whatever they add. Just to be clear. They look like they'll be hype. Sometimes you look at something and, like, the color scheme makes you think it's going to be strong. This was not the case for the Tim Crook outfit. Just to be clear. We knew that would have 0 defense. You can get to full super into heavy charges. Yeah, Zenthor, that's the best thing about fishing. And gathering in general later on. Well, Olivia at 99. How much damage will she deal? I've heard Olivia can hit damage cap with her special. Some people don't have damage caps for their special. Oops. But I think it's interesting. I don't care if I have to pay. I love this game, and I want to enjoy more and more, says Akarin Chu. So we had a theory that they would make a DLC that parallels, basically the one they did for 3DS, where they add a new rank for the Leafes, they add level 200, and they add a crap ton of characters to recruit, and more mechanics for building your party. I have found all of that in the files. Whether or not they'll charge for it, I don't know, but let me say this. Before, previously, I had hope for DLC, but I mainly just wanted to see free updates. At this point, I'll almost be disappointed if they don't sell what they're making, because it's huge. It's exciting. Fantasy Life is far from dead. And so it's important we keep it alive in the meantime, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like simply knowing that more content is coming is motivating me to play the game. Where is our DLC where we play as Snow as we follow her idol adventures as Zenthor? Yes, dude, right? Entertainer was originally one of the 20. It was originally one of the 20 lives that they came up with for the original concept. They were going to have Street Performer, which clearly, you know, idol is the same thing. I was thinking, what if they just straight up have like a rhythm minigame? Make idol a combat class. But the only way to level up and get new skills is by playing the rhythm minigame. And then you like buff people with magic for your combat. That's such a terrible idea, but I like it, and I came up with it, so I'm saying it. I'm not saying that they should add that, but I would personally like to see it. New ranks like 3DS. Just like 3DS, as Akarichu. If your question is just like 3DS, like identical to it, my answer is, my impressions are yes. Pretty damn identical. But, like, better. We're definitely not just getting, a couple new recipes. That's for sure. You guys know how Hero gets the badge on your life ranks when you max out your lives, right? Well, I found a different version of that badge. And it's got a pretty distinct look to it. If you have the PC version, you can go look at it. It's very interesting. Hopefully they'll give us a list of all the recipes in the game, says Chris. Yeah, fans are making lists, but that's no excuse. Famitsu needs to release a guide for this game. An official one. With artwork and stuff inside. Raging Bull God, what's up? Thank you so much for the helpful explanation of the challenge that we're doing. I can maybe pin that. That's a really great message. Bull God. Mage was more complex on 3DS as Triple Rye Guy. You know how your NPCs switch combos depending on the element staff that you give them? You got to do that on 3DS too. They have so little faith in their players that they make the NPCs' movesets more complex than the players for Mage. Thanks, level 5. I love this age of oversimplification. We would like to announce the reboot of the beloved character, Sword. Here is our remade design of Sword to fit the needs and desires of the greater, larger audience we wish to expand to and pursue profits, compared to our existing Sword fans who love Sword for his sword. Our new design for Sword, we are proud to announce, features a wooden rod because the smoothness of bamboo is a lot safer for children who may be watching our new Blade show about his sword. That's how the average property is these days. That's my analogy. That's what they did to Mage, dude. That's what they did to Mage. We're happy to announce Fantasy Life 2, where you can play as Mage. You can't switch your element anymore. Whenever you rank up your life, there is 0 story. There's no requirement for the story, and you get 0 story because people said that it was kind of clunky. So here you go, 0 story after the initial tutorial, anytime you rank up. Also, you get 0 variance in any of your combos, while the AI gets to go crazy with different element combos on every single element. It's like straight up insulting how companies view us these days, because they don't view us, they view everyone except us. We're like a given to every company these days. No matter how low a company falls, they will always take their fans for granted in like the most annoying possible way. It's not even like they're taking risks because they know that they will sell copies. Like doing a cool spin-off or something because they know people will buy it. Why are they doing a Fantasy Life rhythm game, you know? Like Yokai Watch, basically, I'm trying to say. It's not necessarily like that. It's more so like level 5 wants to pursue larger profits so bad that they're willing to move on from aspects of the original game altogether, despite the fact that some people like them, just because they know that it will increase the game's range of appeal if they remove these aspects. It's the same story every game. Complain about one thing they remove, the next, and they complain that it's gone. No. Okay, yeah. That's absolutely valid. I never complained about it. I always loved all the story quests in 3DS. But I do get what you're saying. There is a significant group of people who, you know, complain about something and then complain when it gets removed. I definitely get that. I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case with this game. But I 100% get where you're coming from. Pito, thanks for coming. Yeah, if it's late, definitely get some sleep. The AI changes their combos depending on what they're equipped with. Yeah, for Mage. I don't think it's character-based. I think it's element-based. I could be totally wrong. I'm pretty sure it's actually element-based and not character-based. People just always give the character their preferred element. Am I wrong? When I gave What's-His-Face the froggy wand for the video, he started making ice crystals. He was, like, firing zaps before. Aren't the zaps the light one? What's up, Kilnay? Great to see you. He says, what's up, dude? Just wanted to say keep up the great work. Thank you. I will for people like you, because that's such an encouraging message. Thank you. It's good to know someone's enjoying the stuff. Thanks so much for that, Nate. When I play Mage, I always forget to use the special use buff, mostly because it only lasts 10 seconds, says Triple. Oh, wow. Interesting. I didn't even know Mage had that. Okay, we gotta test this real quick. But, like, Damien, right? Won't he not make the darkness orbs if I don't give him a darkness thing? I'm probably lying here. I'm probably confusing everybody. But I need to verify this because I'm very confused about it. And I'm thinking out loud so you guys don't get confused too. Okay, give him the Cositis Ice Wand and see if he makes the crystals. That's the easiest way. Because Ice combo was like hella bad compared to Darkness combo. I wasn't really sure if that's exclusive to Damien. I'm really curious here. Oh, that's his special. When are you playing the other combat? Oh, yeah, what? Whoa! Holy shit, dude. Okay. Damn it, man. Every mage has their own combat combo, man. I totally overlooked this during this tier list video. Shit, man. Damien's really good, yeah. Because an on-hit boost isn't bad when you're dealing so many hits. Like, that's a lot of hits, dude. That's the charge attack I mentioned in my comment on your tier list video. Thank you, Wasted Cow. Yeah, I made a big error because the tier list is mainly for skills, because I feel like skills are going to age better. I didn't want to just say, well, in my game, this guy deals more damage because here's what my equipment is. I feel like saying, like, Damien I don't say is bad in the tier list. I just say his skills are freaking boring. As I say in the tier list, everybody is capable of fighting, and so that automatically makes them, like, pretty damn good. Just because putting damage out is good. What I didn't realize is that it seems like each mage has their own unique combo. Which is really weird. That's why I love Demon and hope they buff him, says Wasted Cow. Yeah, I really thought that it was just for his Dark Staff that he could do that, but I'm totally wrong, man. I kind of want to do a separate video about mages. I was thinking this before I started the stream, and that's why I'm doing this demonstration. Because I got the idea before I started this stream. Maybe we do like a impairing mage combos. Because look at that. That's totally different. But then sometimes they don't do it. Like I said in the video, the mage AI is kind of finicky, dude. Did you see this? Like, the mage AI is just kind of weird. I don't know. Right? He keeps turning around and canceling his combo. I don't like it. That's what I meant in the video when I was talking about it. That specifically what's happening there is kind of what I meant when they just position themselves weird. Just my opinion. It probably means nothing. I'm jealous of woodcutter and miner NPCs. Why can't I whack enemies with the pickaxe or axe too? Yeah, that's why the tree enemies exist. It's a joke from the 3DS game because you could attack things with your axe. You can't do that anymore, so the joke is dead. Silly game. Okay, wind staff, staff of the oracle. Let's check out Sloane's combo here. See, he cancels his combo too. What does he know? Okay. It didn't change when we gave Sloane his preferred weapon. His combo's kind of cool. Also kind of lame. He is a healer, that's all, says Akarinchu. Yeah, right? And then Cliff's is the ice block. We know that for sure. Colin. It seems that generally the first two hits are the little beam. But that's not actually the case. Wow, that's badass, dude. That was a cool animation. That's not actually the case for, who is it? Cliff. Yeah, that's a freaking crazy combo where he surrounds them with lasers. That's badass, dude. That never misses. Wasted Cow said, had to go away from keyboard, but I overheard you about the potential upcoming DLC, and now I'm excited again. Okay, good. 100%ed, but now you need to prepare for the new content. Yeah. The biggest thing is, like, they're gonna have more ranks for the life, so get leveled up and prepare to craft stuff. Like, you want to do all the prep for your crafting, and make sure you're ready to take on those new recipes. Players should be given the combos, says Triple. That's actually why we're doing this. Because I was going on a rant about how they don't let you change your elemental combo, because you can in the 3DS game. And so it's so strange that they made all these special combos and they don't let us use them. Yeah, Zidkins, you gotta age your crafting tools. Also, so one theory that I have is I want to try aging crafting tools and giving them to, my crafting NPCs and having them accompany me in the overworld and then gather stuff. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Call Me Spy? Welcome back. He says, Leafe, you think they're ever going to release a new yokai game? I made a video about it. They announced something that's specifically called Yokai Watch Next Concept. They're making something that's sort of in the world of Yokai Watch. But they need time to work on the new Yokai Watch game. Yeah, they're having the same composer. The same composer is composing the music. And it's like all the same people working on the game. They think that they need extra time to work on a full Yokai Watch game. And so they're making something called Holy Horror Mansion in the meantime. Holy Horror Mansion. It's still about ghosts and stuff, and it looks cool, but it's important to understand that the entire Yokai Watch team is working on this. The Yokai Watch composer has only worked on Yokai Watch for like ever since it released. He did a bit for Megaton Musashi, but that's it. So the fact that he's clearly working on Holy Horror Mansion means that it will feel like Yokai Watch, because, at least in my opinion, Yokai Watch isn't Yokai Watch without the soundtrack. That's what makes it feel like Yokai to me. It's like kind of the art style plus the soundtrack. And so they seem to be nailing both. The issue is, it's called Yokai Watch Next Concept, but they're keeping it a secret how it ties into Yokai Watch. Some people have misinterpreted this. They keep saying Holy Horror Mansion is not a yokai game. But they announced it as Yokai Watch Next Concept was the secret name for it. So I think Level 5 is just trying to keep a plot twist secret, because they did this a few years ago with Y School Heroes. They're doing a presentation this September on the game, so keep an eye out for info. Until then, be very careful of false rumors. What's Y School Heroes, as Call Me Spy? It is a story about Lord Enma losing a fight. The Yokai Watch world, the Yokai world, is in danger. So he sends the entire Yokai world into a, like, tiny ball of energy, and he puts it inside Jibanyan. And he sends Jibanyan and Komasan to reincarnate in the future and save the world by becoming superheroes. It's a crazy concept, dude. It is really crazy. But it works. It's very different. It's very, very different. But it's by the same team, and so it's pretty fun. It's the only... Y School Heroes has an anime with official subtitles. The Y School Heroes anime is the only Yokai Watch anime to have an on-screen character death. It has multiple. It is the only Yokai Watch anime to show a character dying and then have them turn into a yokai and give their medal to a character, which is the coolest concept. They just never really had the balls to do it in previous entries because it was a little too dark. And Y School Heroes is also the only yokai anime to have somebody die with actual blood. Like, it has actual blood in one scene for Impact. And it's the only time that they do it in the entire series. Just a few fun facts about Y School Heroes. It is very different, but it is pretty fun if you can get over the different part. The good news is, if you don't like Y School Heroes, they just did it to take a bit of a break, so they aren't doing it anymore. I actually liked it, so that's bad news. Yeah, someone gets stabbed. And so there's a bit of blood on the chest, and like on their mouth. It's not dramatic or anything, but it's pretty impactful, pretty edgy. It's like Shadow saying, damn Chaos Emeralds. No. It's actually pretty good. But I also really like Shadow the Hedgehog, so. There's this guy who made this amazing animated music video on the Yokai subreddit, and he posted it, and it got 40 upvotes. Are you freaking kidding me? It was the best video. It was so well edited. It was actually well edited. Some people are like, look at my edit, and they'll call it an edit, and it's literally like a freaking TikTok, and it's like the crappiest thing that I've ever seen. But, you know, it's kind of adorable because it's probably a 10-year-old doing it. But, putting that aside, like, this guy's video was actually well edited. And when I say that, it's not like it means the entire world, but it definitely means something. I was pretty impressed with the way that he timed a couple things. He tied together, like, all of the different Yokai Watch franchises in the video. And it's all set to one of the openings. It's Galaxy Rendezvous from Yokai Watch Heroes, Y School Heroes. It's a really good AMV, dude. It was a really cool love letter to, like, the 12th anniversary of the franchise. And it got 39 upvotes. Are you kidding me? Dude, anybody posting a random picture of Yokai Watch merchandise and asking how much it's worth will get over 100 upvotes every time. This happens every day. I'm not targeting anyone. This happens every single day. People will post like their Hasbro medallion and say, just found this, what's this worth? It's worth $2. Have 200 upvotes because people want to believe that what they have is worth something. I think people actually compliment the original poster because they project themselves onto the poster, is actually what Reddit is now. But whatever. You can ask why Yokai Watch 3 costs so much and it gets 500 upvotes, says Shadowcat. That's my aggravation, right? Reddit is built to always reward snowballing behavior and groupthink in the worst ways possible. The moment something gets upvotes, it gets recommended more. So once it gets a bit of steam, oh boy, you can bet the stupidest post will skyrocket to the top if enough people engage at the start. I just found my old sketchbook with all the yokai characters, says Call Me Spy. Oh my god, that's so nostalgic. My YouTube icon is pretty old at this point. I asked people if I should redraw it, and they said that it would ruin the charm, which I thought was kind of adorable. I was like, I would probably say the same thing if I was in your position. Should I play Fantasy Life or Rune Factory? Asked Chelsea. Fantasy Life is already confirmed for more free updates with expansions and a potential paid expansion coming next year. So it's a massive game with much more content coming in the future. Rune Factory is a game about dating people and managing a farm. You can also recruit monsters, which is kind of cool, but there aren't that many, and a lot of them are recolors from what I saw. But I'm also a Yokai Watch fan, so feel free to roast me for that, I guess. Not saying Rune Factory is bad, but full transparency, if I started playing it, it would, how do I put this delicately? My lawyer says that I have to come up with a better reason to play the game. You've got, like, farm, marriage, some combat with monster recruiting. I don't necessarily think that it's as, like, whoa, look at all this stuff to do as Fantasy Life. Is that a bad thing? Not really. At some points, Fantasy Life feels a bit fluffy. And Rune Factory definitely has the better story. I haven't even played it, and I can tell you that. Rune Factory has a better story. Rune Factory is a bit of its time, says Member Healer. Oh, it totally looks like that, right? Like, some games just kind of have, in the most loving way possible, some Japanese developers in 2025 are putting out games where they just, like, literally look like PS2 games. And I think that's great. And I think it's wonderful. And I think they should keep doing what they love doing. But, like, some developers you can always count on to deliver a game that looks and plays like it came out on the PS2. There's, like, this roguelike anime girl, like, shooting game, like Returnal, but with anime girls coming from, like, D3 Publishing or something. And I'm like, yup, you know exactly. That's going to be the best 7 out of 10 that you've ever played. Like, there's no other way of cutting it there. It's going to be 7 out of 10, and you're going to love it if you like those sorts of things. Like, you can always count on that. For level 5, you can always count on level 5 to deliver daily things in your games. There will be tasks that you do daily that are limited daily. You can always come back for something different each day, or to try again at something each day. If you like that, it's good. If you don't like it, it's kind of like complaining about Persona games letting you date people. You know, it's fine to not like it, but if you hate daily events, why are you playing level 5 games? Because even Professor Layton had puzzles that were limited daily, and that was, like, really hard. You had to download them every single day, and they were, like, different puzzles. Anyways. Roasted corn. You said roast, and that's the best I got. Well, thank you, Zenthor. I love roasted corn. Are you streaming on Twitch as Call Me Spy? At one point, I dual streamed on Twitch, but I never really understood what the point was, other than making my brain feel like I was doing something important because a number was slightly higher. That's the true darkness of content creation. Any idea what they meant by expanded Gino other than roguelike mechanics you explained the other day as triple? Yeah, there's an icon for a higher tier of chest in the Ginormosia files. So, look, it's just a personal theory. I think maybe they'll add chests that appear at rank 7 in Ginormosia. It's just a freaking personal theory, and it's probably not going to be true. It's probably for the roguelike mode. But you said any ideas. I think rank 7 might, when they add new equipment, rank 7 might have some good equipment in the chest. I don't know. I looked. I definitely looked. I'll tell you that much. I think they really only have some stuff for the really far out updates, and the rest they're just kind of working on separately, and they're going to add to the game. I just started playing Fleet, and the character creation music is making me nostalgic for online, says Pixel2. What's up, dude? Yes. Can you fight something? I want to see the combat, asks Chet. Yeah, so I play the class that, I play the challenge class. The challenge class does not have access to advanced abilities. This is a self-imposed limitation. Similarly to not using XP share in Pokemon, you can consider this something that makes the game fun or something that makes it boring. It's really up to you. But as you can see, I hit people with a corn on the cob. That is my class that I play as. You can dodge. If you do a perfect dodge with invincibility, you get bonus attack. That's a really fun mechanic. You can dash and then do a dash attack that snaps you to the enemy. Looking at getting the game for your wife. Ooh. I would say between this and Rune Factory, Fantasy Life seems to have the wider appeal, while Rune Factory seems to be really good for, like, hardcore gamers. Like, if you really like anime, Rune Factory has some good charm. But overall, as a cozy game, I almost think again, I haven't played the new Rune Factory, but from the gameplay I've watched, Fantasy Life seems to deliver a more holistic, cozy game experience with lots of different things to do in lots of different contexts. For everyone. Laugh so hard I missed my excellent rip, says Member Healer. Is this co-op? I'm always here to answer questions. That's what I'm here for, first and foremost. This is co-op. I'm actually doing a video about this next week. You can co-op on the same screen, but the other person plays as a bird. It's a bit silly. Are you going to buy a second Switch for Donkey Kong Bonanza? No, I'm just going to cancel the Mario Kart stream. So yeah, you can you can attack, you can chop trees and stuff. You're just playing as a bird. He's in the story, so you play as him. It's fun. It's fun. Don't worry, it's fun. You can work together. You gather stuff together. It's all very cooperative. If you get a second copy, you can play with your own character, but when you play the game, you'll understand why they didn't do it that way. It kind of makes sense. Yeah, Mario Kart stream dies this Friday, unless I figure out a way to loop it without people getting upset. I'll record some VODs, or try to. And then loop it or them. Combat Life for brand new, please. It's hard to find videos on Combat Lives and how to utilize them. Yeah, I've been wanting to do that. Bananas is coming out, but I want to do that. Combat Lives sounds fun. Somebody asked, when am I starting Combat Lives? The answer was, like, level 100 in all lives, and that's basically what we're getting to here. So I guess... Combat Life for Hunter and stuff is, like, a lot to ask for this week. I bet we could pump out a Paladin guy. I want to do Paladin first because of the perfect blocks. Also, Paladin has something really interesting that nobody talks about, which is shield skills. We talk about it because we like shield skills. But, I don't see it brought up that often. And I forget about it, too. And so I'd like to put that in a video. It's weird how when you co-op, you can't play as Strangelings, says Zenthor. It makes no sense, and I don't understand how there isn't a mod for it yet. How is there no mod for that? We are raising our fish to level 100 here. Allow me to handle this, happily. I got 100% burn chance on Mustang's shield. Yes, dude. I'm thinking Burn Paladin is like such an amazing support. I think Burn Paladin might be better than Fern, but I don't want to say it until I try it. I'm not really sure how it works. Would couch play as Snow 100%, says Zenthor. Yes, please. That would be fun. You made Paralyzed Gimmick set for Hunter Paladin? Oh, that's super fun. It's fun until a boss starts resisting status, says Triple. Well, that's harder in multiplayer. The thresholds are higher. So I bet it works really well against HP sponge bosses that exist in my head for single player. The ones that don't exist yet, I bet it works great. It's like Hawk. Hawk's really good for the enemy that's weak to wind that doesn't exist yet. Like, we're gonna demolish the weak wind enemy when it gets added. It does not exist yet. I got Flea for myself as an early birthday thing. Happy early birthday, Pixel Chew! Oh my god! Tuesday! Tuesday, let's go! That's awesome. Enjoy Fantasy Life. I know you were debating getting it. I promise you it has lasting value compared to gacha pulls. Though if you never open the game, I guess it doesn't. I bet a Frostburn gimmick set would work great against the voices in my head. Literally, yeah, exactly. My Fern with a plus 100% frostbite chance bow. She's like perfect for the NPC only fight where she'll be able to dominate. Raid bosses added when, asked Member Healer. Are you asking? You know that I was talking about this. You're asking because I was talking about it, right? Just to be clear. For anyone who doesn't know, I data mined the game. They are adding raid boss dens. My impression of the game, based on my iffy Japanese and reading beta screenshots, is the boss has a large HP bar that seems to be decreased by other players. I am saying this due to a screenshot of the log that says player one, player dealt whatever damage, exclamation point, repeatedly. It looks exactly the same as Ohajiki if you've played Yokai Watch Puni Puni, which is also by level 5. It seems identical. The boss sticks around for 2 days in their beta screenshots, but that sounds really long to me. I would be really surprised if they kept that. Like, don't start sit and chill thinking that we can have 2 days for a raid boss. I don't know if they'll go through with that. The UI is cool. The Grove looks different. It has unique geometry. It looks hella evil. It looks really cool. I don't think it has floors. I think you just go in there and fight the boss. And then when the boss dies, you get the rewards. What are the rewards? They're working on an exclusive reward. Member Doodleboat asks Leafy, how am I supposed to get into Shadowverse when there's a big fat mostly negative? Oh, you have to understand that's actually the player base's strategy. They're trying to review bomb the game so that they give us free stuff. I don't morally agree with it, but I think it's funny. Is that an okay viewpoint to have? I'm not participating in myself, but I think it's funny. I think it says a lot about society these days. If we negatively review the game, they'll give us free stuff. Okay. It's fine, dude. I mean, look, man. If you want to get into a real card game these days, your choice is calling the local game shop down the street and being told that they're selling Pokemon at $8 a pack. Source? Me. It didn't used to be like this. Source? Me, who played Pokemon competitively, nationally, during the Level X and Black and White era. It was not like this. Everything was at normal price. Maybe you could encounter somebody who was marking things up, but they would get told off for it. These days, it's just like, yup. Pokemon blister pack that should be 30, it's 90. Don't ask questions, just buy it. When it comes to digital card games like Shadowverse, that's not an option. That can't happen. If the card game is, quote, greedy because you can only build 2 competitive decks without paying, then it's the total opposite of the current state of my beloved Pokemon. Logan Paul ruined my favorite hobby. You might ask, why didn't I play during the Sun and Moon era if it was my favorite hobby? Because I had major physical health issues that I don't want to talk about, and it stopped me from traveling and playing the game. But I really like TCGs and Pokemon. And so, that crappy trading card game online I even liked because it's like an okay alternative, right? And this hyper-consumerism caused by Logan Paul or whatever, who you want to blame. Logan Paul is basically the voices in my head when it comes to complaining about Pokemon. Feel free to be mad at me for hating him. But all his freaking videos where he would order literal bootleg product and say it's worth $1 million and then upload the video because he got scanned but he needs the views. It's like, you're impacting the market, okay? You can't deny it. Pokemon decks are pretty cheap. Yeah, true. But product, like buying products? Okay, now compare that to digital card games like Shadowverse, where it's like, it's so greedy because you can only build like 1 or 2 competitive decks per season without paying. It's like, I get where you're coming from, but also, it's better than real-life card games. Which is such a sad thing to say. But that may be what makes Shadowverse so compelling to me these days. Have you played the Pokemon TCG game on phone? Yeah, it's all RNG. Go look at my video where I review every card in the second set. I did a video reviewing every card, and I did a tier list. It was more of a joke video than anything else, if you go to look at it. The actual purpose of that video is to showcase how RNG-based TCG Pocket is. Not everybody picked up on that, but it was also, like, I don't know if I executed it very well. I probably could have titled it and thumbnailed it something different if I truly wanted it to be like that. But, that video where I rate every card, basically, the top tier that I put is Coin Flip, where it's just like Gyarados randomly discards an energy equipped to your opponent's Pokemon. And it's like, yeah, that's the entire game. Like, it's good when he discards the energy that you want him to discard, and then it's like, fine, otherwise. Aren't most TCG RNG based? Okay, modern Hearthstone is not the same as beta Hearthstone. As somebody who played the closed beta of Hearthstone, I stopped playing after Dr. Boom released. He pissed me off. But the current Hearthstone is 10 times worse than that. I don't understand people who play the current Hearthstone. I think they only do it because they were introduced to Hearthstone after it was already bad. Like, if you found out about Hearthstone a couple years ago, maybe you could be baited into playing it. But anybody who has actually followed that game since launch, I was in the closed beta and I played it religiously up through the first couple of seasons, they know that that game fell off really hard for one reason and one reason only. And Hearthstone is the original digital card game that all these guys are based on. Hearthstone fell off because it pursued people winning with RNG above all else. So you would have a card where you play it and it deals a random amount of damage to a random enemy minion. What the hell is that? A random amount of damage from 1 through 6 to a random enemy minion on the board. Okay, that's the game they want to create, where you log in, play your cards, and then you wait to see what happens. That's technically what every card game is, but there's supposed to be more choice. I loved Hearthstone Arena. Zigkins, Hearthstone Arena was my favorite freaking thing ever. It would not be an exaggeration to say that one of the inspirations for me getting into streaming was watching streams for Hearthstone to get better. Like, that's probably one of the only instances of me actively watching streamers in history. I just don't watch streams that much. I think it's really fun to do. I'm a very creative person, and I think it's very fun to make things and broadcast and blah, blah, blah. And I think that it complements videos really well. But I actually don't watch that many streams. I usually do it when I have a purpose. But Hearthstone I watched a bunch back in the day. Just because it was a hard game, dude. It was a hard game. I thought that video was pretty funny with me knowing the differences between actual TCG and Pocket, says Pixel2. Yeah! Like, half the... like, everything that I say in that video is, like, every card has the same attack. No card has any text on it. There are 0 complexities, and then you're just looking at the new Terra cards, and you're like, uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Waiter, waiter, more text, please. Not in a bad way, but they have actual complexity in the current TCG right now, and it's a great thing. I'm not a creative person. My true form is a mimic. I'm good at copying things, and I'm not proud of it, says Zenthor. Yeah, but that's a real way to be as a person. Like that's a real way to be. That's fine. That's respectable. It's better than the one guy who always wants to say something different just to get attention. Yeah, but why? Yeah, but why? But, like, do you really think that? Oh my god, dude. I'm trying to ask you what you want for lunch. Versus the person who's just like, I'm good with whatever. You might feel bad about saying that, but it's way better than the guy who's like, I know that I said we wanted fries, but now that we're here, like, they're using golden potatoes. I only like white potatoes. I don't know, man. We should go somewhere else. Like, maybe you don't want to be that guy, and that's okay. Have you been keeping up with new TCG reveals with Mega Evolution sets? 3 prizers are coming back. Oh, are they? I didn't really like 3 prizers. Are Megas 3 prizes? Do they end your turn when you play a Mega? They took that out, right? Because that sucked, man. Here we go. New Mega EXs are 3 prizers. They took away the ending your turn thing, says Pixel2. Interesting. Now, if I can only get my hands on a single card. Trust me, I've been trying. You think I didn't want that Iono acrylic stand? It's so novel, I had to get it. Regardless of value. But I was only going to pay most suggested retail price for it. Oh my god! Oh my god, Zidkin says Criff or Trump SC. Oh my god. He's talking about, just to be clear, he's not talking about politics. He's talking about Hearthstone players. That's so funny. He hit me in the nostalgia with that one. Oh god. Probably funniest comment in the entire chat today. Crit, dude. I watched so much Crit. Somebody's gonna say that he, like, committed murder, and I'm gonna get canceled for saying that I watched him 10 years ago. Just to be clear, I don't watch his content anymore. But, back in the day, he was really good at the game, right? And his chat was kind of funny, too. And so, I watched a lot of his streams. He was really, really good at the game. Is Shadowverse easy to get into, ask Galardic? I would absolutely say so, yeah. This isn't going to do the game any favors, but one of the strongest decks is really accessible right now because a certain legendary card is really, really, really powerful. If you're careful with your resources, you can craft any card. It just takes a bit. Some people are total gamblers. Some people are real TCG players who know how to manage their resources. Some people just want to log in and play each day. When you pull a duplicate card, it dissolves into dust that you can use to form a new card. It's technically Blood Vials in Shadowverse, but I still call it dust because of Hearthstone. Like, old habits die hard, and vials is a weird, awkward word with 2 syllables that kind of feels like 3. It's dust, bro. Also, you can't vial a card, but you can dust it. I love Shadowverse, but the thing is, I have nobody who would want to watch me play it. I got to the max rank in Shadowverse, and then I got bored and started playing other decks and ranked down. I I gotta be consistently high rank enough to make a video, and then people see the video, and then I can stream. But with the way YouTube is, like, you get one viewer if you stream anything beyond what you're known for. It's just the algorithm. What's cool in Pokemon Pocket? You just get shiny covers for dupes, says Galardic. Yeah, right? The worst part about Pokemon Pocket is they have no dust system. That's why, that's why people call Pokemon Pocket a gacha. Just to be clear, people call Pokemon Pocket a gacha, or at least they did before they added trading, because Poke doesn't have any dusting mechanics. It doesn't have anything that you can do with your duplicate cards to turn them into other cards. That's why trading's so important for Poke, because it's the only thing that it has that can actually have it punch on the same weight as other card games that are similar to it. Of course, Pokemon is Pokemon. They have an insane variety of artists. They get all of my favorites, every single set. One of the Pokemon artists, Ginormosia, was actually contracted to do art for Farmer for Fantasy Life I on the website. Did you guys catch that? Level 5's not slick. We see them. They're big Pokemon fans, even if they like to pretend they're not. Oh my god, Rouge Leaf's level 100, and so did Olivia. I'm so proud of them. We're level 95 as Angler. We have to keep streaming till we reach 100, right? Yogonosuke did art for Flea. Yeah, I thought you'd like that, Pixelachu. I wasn't sure if you knew. It's really sick. You need to have a full set of 3 cards for dupes to give dust. I can explain this, Pixelachu. It's not as abusive as you think. We have performed tests on over a decade of Hearthstone players. This is going to sound really condescending, but as somebody who had this experience myself, Hearthstone players cannot be trusted with their own resources until they understand the game. Hearthstone allowed you to dissolve any card, even if you only had 1 copy. A lot of people did not understand the true statistics behind doing this. And they would also make very impulsive decisions when they wanted to get certain cards, and truly just dissolve their entire collection to get a single card. And then they'd feel bad about it afterwards and quit the game. We know that that's not how the game should be. When you present something in a certain way to people, they will often misunderstand it due to the way it's presented. A lot of players understood crafting to be something way more impulsive than it actually is. And so Shadowverse Worlds Beyond reworks crafting so that you can't be impulsive with it. I have never had an issue with the crafting. Now I'm going to say something that everyone's going to want to kill me for. So I'm saying this in reverse order so that you understand. Look, I'm self-aware of this. This is not a good thing. But if you're trying to evaluate the game's greediness off of the gambling costs, they actually highly value consistent engagement over spikes these days. Especially for Shadowverse is why they made Worlds Beyond. So, are you ready for this? You're not gonna like it. I know. I'm a hypocrite. I bought the $7 Battle Pass. And it is very freeing in terms of gameplay. I have zero desire to buy anything else in the entire game. I have never once wanted to buy a single other pack. With that in mind, $7 is way less than what my local game shop is overcharging me for Pokemon packs. They're asking $8 for a single pack when the most suggested retail price is $4. So which do you think I'm going to do? A month and a half of Shadowverse Battle Pass? Or getting ripped off at the same local game shop that I go to play? I'm not saying I'm a saint making perfect decisions. I'm just saying none of us can be. And that's why I discuss my gaming habits openly on this stream. But if any of you out there do the gamer piss bottle thing, we are over. We are not friends anymore. I knew a guy in high school, and when I say knew, you guys know exactly what I mean. He's in my class. He plays video games. We talk. That's just how school works, okay? Everyone gets that. I'm making excuses already. He would talk about how he actually used the piss bottle strategy when gaming, and I could never believe it. Please take better care of yourself. If you're peeing in a bottle to avoid standing up, we should be nice to you. But also, stop it. Get some help. Leafe, we know you wanted the Neo leader for Abysscraft. Yeah, the Mega Man guy? He's cool. He's really smug, which is like, I don't know if I'd want to play with a leader that talks that way. Because I'd feel silly when I lose. That's why I only emote when something funny happens. Like if I play a card, and then my opponent plays the same card, and then I play the same card, and then my opponent plays the same card again. I'll use the same emote 3 times in a row. I'll go, wow, wow, wow. If we play the same card multiple times in a row. Like, I think that's funny. Or I'll go, well, we're the opponent. It's funny. Extend your setup to the whole room, says Galardic. Now that's what I call water cooling your PC. And every subscriber lost. I'm sorry. Sometimes I, like, can't resist myself. It's a true flaw. There's no one in my head that says, stop, don't say that. They have an armor guy in the next battle pass for Shadowverse. I'm not too into him. They have an alt art for Filene. Not too into the alt art. I like the default art. But you also get gems to buy the next battle pass if you buy the existing one. So you are waiting for me to drop that. LGS has been sold out of Pokemon for weeks, says Pixelchu. Yep. It's hopeless, dude. Anytime Pokemon releases something interesting, it's like, eh. Member Healer says, this is my controversial opinion as an old person. Play your way, pay your way. If it's worth it to you, it's worth it, period. Oh, yeah. Something that I see people... Okay, you know what? So we have our gaming server, Mount Wildwood, for level 5 fans, right? Sometimes a game will release that has microtransactions. And a community member might post a screenshot. If somebody says, I don't think that that's worth the purchase, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. It's a new game. Discuss what you think is worth. But where I kind of draw the line, and I don't always call people on this, I don't necessarily say it's against the rules all the time, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't like when somebody posts a screenshot and they get a reply saying, like, where does the money come from? Where do you make this money? And then you click the person's bio and it says, like, 15, middle schooler. Like, shut up. Pay taxes before you make a comment like that. It always irks me the wrong way because we have one community member trying to share a positive experience with the game and another community member trying to ask about their real-life economics. Man, what if somebody has a job where it's really stressful, but they make good money because it's stressful? And they're posting about their experience with the game on my server to escape the stress of their job, right? In that situation, I'd say, you shouldn't ask the person where the money's coming from if they're just saying that they got a game. Or like if somebody posts their Switch 2 and and they get like 1,000 comments saying, you're flexing your wealth. What? It's a console that came out. We're here to talk about video games. There is never, to me at least, there is never a reason to extend things to that real world that everyone wants to escape from. Believe in yourself and forge ahead, says Olivia. Yeah. So, you know, if I think something's a goofy item, I'll be like, imagine buying Nikes for your Fortnite guy, you know? Okay, that's one thing. But literally going, You don't have enough money to spend on that. You should think about your financial situation more. It's like, dude, it's a stranger in another country. You don't even understand how their economy works. I'm going on crazy tangents while fishing. How much money does your mom give you for Robux? Yeah, it's like, come on, man. If you're questioning somebody's spending habits on games, we all know that your mom buys your Robux for you. There's no shame in that, but maybe hold your tongue next time. I totally agree, Member Healer. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Being a teenager is chaos and difficult. No need to spread that energy around. Yeah, Member Healer. Right, yeah. For sure. It's restrictive, right? Even when you want to make money, it's hard to because of everything around you. I empathize it for sure. I think there's been a weird wave of like this new generation of kids who are straight up like policing adults and trying to speak on equal terms with adults and like tell them what they think is best for their lives. And it's really weird when you click somebody's profile and see them actively labeling themselves as like 14 while saying these things. Where they're like, aren't you a little too old to be doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Or should you really be spending your time on that? It's like, what is the culture these days? Where are we heading towards? I don't really understand it. I think we're being outnumbered. That one person who joined Wildwood the other day and immediately begged for someone to buy them Robux. It was weird, right? When kids see adults at the supermarket, do they walk up to random adults and ask them to buy Robux gift cards? No, they don't. But when they enter our gaming server, do they ask for free Robux? Yes. Yes, they do. And I think that's what really says the difference between one thing and another. I don't even have labels for them. But it's like kids with parents and kids without parents. Being a literal 8-year-old cringe. I can't do Discord for that reason, says Member Healer. It's too weird when somebody is talking and you can like clearly tell they should not be on this platform. Where they're just sending these disjointed sentences. Guys, let's talk about Yokai Watch, guys. Here's my team, like, really blurry photo. And then the moment you try to give them advice, they're like, huh? I don't understand. Oh, my mom's calling. I have to go. Okay. Okay. When they bring up their parents in the general chat on Discord, that's when you start wondering, should you even make a snarky remark on the keyboard? Or is that, like, philosophically just going way too close towards having a genuine interaction with an 8-year-old socially, and that's just, like, not an appealing thought in any way? So maybe you won't even make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's the initial what the hell stage, and then eventually you're like, I'm just closing my computer. I'm moving on. I've ascended. I've reached nirvana. Not just Jerry, says Member Healer. Actually bullying a real 8-year-old. Yeah, you never know if they're 8 years old, right? But sometimes you get a feeling that maybe you should step off the keyboard and give them a chance to step off too. The internet's evolving. You gotta learn new tactics like running away from an annoying situation. I can't get the Dragon Dare challenge to show up again. I need the Dragonwood, says Bulgod. Oh, dude, it's like a 1% rate. It's so wicked rare. Oh, we got to 97 without me noticing. Demon's 95, basically. No lie, it's quicker for me to get rank 6 and switch back and forth like Leafe suggested in the bid, says Member Healer. Okay, yeah. It's kind of helpful, right? Every second is a second saved. I removed a 1-minute rant where I try and determine the time investment versus time saved. But I removed it because I thought nobody would think it was interesting. But I had this rant recorded where I was like, I need to consider whether it's worth the time investment versus the time saved. And then I was like, we're going to be stupid and do it anyways. And then I was like, crap, that's setting a poor example and I shouldn't influence people like that. They're going to be like, you told people to do something that's a waste of time. Oh my God, think of the children. Okay, let's take that part out. That's what Bolgod's already been doing. But it hasn't shown up since the first day the update dropped. Oh, geez, man. That's rough. You gotta stick through the bad RNG to get to the good one. You've never gotten Evil Primeval, Bullgod? We got it. Once. And that's it. Wait, guys, I have crazy news for you. I haven't responded to him yet. But you're never gonna believe this. I got the best DM ever yesterday. I usually have a rule of not talking about DMs, but I got a really good DM, and it's positive. The guy who took my name on Roblox like 7 years ago DM'd me, and he said I could have it back. You know how I'm the real 101 Leafy? Because there's a fake 101 Leafy on Roblox? I actually got a DM from somebody who's like, I do want 101 Leafy back. Yeah, dude. Pixel2 knows this. He's played Roblox with me. Bro grew up. That's awesome. This is member healer. Oh my God. Oh my God. Or like he finally decided on his own username after 7 years. It's funny because if you go to my Roblox stream where I play Roblox for the first time, I didn't tell him this. I didn't tell him this part. But if you go to my Yokai Watch Roblox stream where I played Roblox for the first time, I'm pretty sure I have like a really funny rant about this. I like pretty distinctly remember going on a funny rant about this. I'm probably not going to send it to him because it'll make him embarrassed. Because he was like, I'm sorry, I was little, I shouldn't have done that. I was just being stupid. I thought it would be fun. I was like, okay, yeah. No worries. I remember that too. It was years ago, says Pixel2. Yeah, you were even in the chat for the Fleece stream that I edited. That was cool. Yeah, don't quit gambling. That's a cute story, says Member Healer. I think so, yeah. Wholesome Roblox moment. Now, who wants to play Subway Slam Simulator with me? Or Splatoon Roblox, where it's literally every single 3D model ripped directly from Splatoon, and every single audio file ripped directly from Splatoon, and somehow remaining up for 8 years without getting taken down. It finally gotten taken down. I joked about this for so many years on stream that it eventually got taken down. But it's still funny. But we actually did joke about it for long enough for it to get taken down, just to update. This whole subway is mine. This whole subway is mine to slam it. Why did I do it? Because I wanted to. Elder God tier villains whose motives are arguably impossible to find faults in. Number 1, the Subway Slammer, who says that he slams people with his shoulder because he wants to, and he'll do it again because he wants to. Never in the history of a video game have I witnessed more legendary dialogue from a villain. It's like, how do you set up a scenario where you need to defeat the villain? Well, he does something because he wants to, and he refuses to stop. There you go! You figured it out! You wrote a villain! We're making it to Xehanort with this one! Volgot asked if you went with XXS 420 Assassin 69 Ninja Lord Master. He actually has a normal username now, yeah. I can't remember what it is, but it looked normal to me. It's not like eBoy 69 420 or something. Like, it's a real name. Uh-oh. Got him. Light charge, go. Super, go. Louis got nothing on the Subway Slammer. Louis may have plot twists and good writing, but Subway Slammer has hype moments and aura, so he wins. Speaking of hype moments, I get to start watching Dawn to Dawn next week. I saw it in theaters, the Evil Eye thing, and so it's just been repeat episodes so far. But the new one starts next week. Oh my god. You guys watch Dawn to Dawn for the animation, soundtrack, and writing. I watch Dawn to Dawn for the parts where they say yokai during their sentences in Japanese, and then I point and clap and kick my feet. It's different. No, I'm joking. I think it's a fantastic show. I think it's lovely. I think it's 10 out of 10. I still have to finish Apothecary Diary Season 2, says Member Healer. Oh my god! How did you read my mind? You said the exact next thing I was going to say. Yes! That one's fun. I stopped watching when they changed the opening. It wasn't like coordinated or anything, but that's when Fantasy Life came out. It's been so good, says Member Healer. Oh, I want to know. I want to see it. Have you heard of Gachi Akuta at Scholartic? Yeah, there's this super fan on my Wildwood server. He really likes it, dude. He says it's the best thing ever. He was really real, because he was like posting about wanting, there was this guy on my Discord server where he was telling us how badly it deserves an anime, like, years ago. He, like, always posts about Gotch Bell. And he was always like, oh, speaking of which, Gachi Akuta is really good. And I never really knew what he was talking about. And then all of a sudden, they announced the anime last year, and everyone's super hyped for it. And I'm like, whoa, this guy won. He won life. He, like, actually won the life lottery. It's like when we got Fantasy Life I. It's like, holy crap, they actually did it. It looks good. It's got Soul Eater vibes. So it's got, like, 2000s Hot Topic vibes. I kind of want to watch that now. That sounds like a good vibe. New Pokemon's great. I'm hyped for that new Digimon, dude. What is it? Beat Break? Digimon Beat Break? How are we dealing with Farmer Leafy? Asked Member Healer. I actually have a plan for Farmer. I got a plan. The plan is Spud spam. You have to get every area to level rank 7 and then spam Legendary Spud is my plan. Legendary Royal Needle. Yeah, that's a nice drop. These guys give really good Redux Stones as well. Time Stranger. Beat Break is the new anime. Time Stranger is the new game. I'm so hyped for Time Stranger. Did you guys see? They announced a feature for Time Stranger where you combine the powers, the soul powers of your Digimon to make a gun, and then you shoot their powers out of the gun, and the thing that the gun does is determined by the Digimon powers you feed it. Isn't that amazing? They're doing Yokai Blaster, like Yokai 3. Yeah, Pixel True. They're doing Yokai Blaster. I'm glad you guys thought of the same thing as me. Yeah, it's like Yokai 3. It's so cool. The animation's like identical, too. It's really cool. It's going to be an awesome feature. You also have a skill tree for your trainer. You can mount any Digimon, including being carried by the giant humanoid Digimon, which is insane because it's like the anime. Yeah, rank 7's insane. The farm area, you can technically rank 7. I did some experimenting with farming different high-level crops that aren't bosses, and it's just, like, really bad. It's, like, super bad. I think the biggest strategy for farmer might be for everybody else. I have to do it for the video. But the biggest strategy for farmer is acknowledging that farming is the easiest gathering life because you can back out of the fight with 0 consequences, replenish all of your SP, and resume the harvest, which means that your level for farming technically doesn't matter at all in terms of being able to do things. It just matters in terms of how long it takes. I'm serious. That's the only reason your farming matters. So, with that in mind, we might just need to wait for DLC. You placed really well at a Digimon TCG Regional? Seriously, Pixel Chew? What place? You can level your buddies with this method, says Member Healer. Yeah. You can level your farmer buddies with this method, and then I guess they help you out with your farming? I don't know. Farming buddies are really good. They make things insanely fast. Oh, your friends did. Your friend did. You don't play Digimon TCG, but you might get into it, Pixel Chew. I have a Mastamon card that's like my favorite thing in the universe. I pulled it from a box when the first set came out. Does that count? No, I love the Digimon card game. I just don't play it much. I'm really excited for the new Cyber Sleuth set. I wanted to get product, but it's nowhere, as usual. So, you know, call me if you see anything. Do they have starter decks for it? I never did a complete collection of D Reaper cards like I wanted to. I bet they're not that hard to get anymore, but I could be wrong. I liked the Mugen deck in Vice Schwartz for Gurren Lagann back in the day. It looked like it would be similar. Does anyone in the chat play Uma Musume? It's really the kind of thing that I'd ask you guys about and you'd have no idea about it. And then I'd say, oh, I really wish someone was into it so I could stream it. But it's actually taken off. I tried it out, says Shadowcat. I have a really good feeling that it's the kind of thing that everyone's trying and no one's going to stick with. I think it's definitely going to have its fan base, but the appeal isn't actually that wide. Let's be honest. It's an anime property that doesn't make you feel weird if your parents find out that you're into it. Mainly because the characters are fully clothed. That's the secret to its wide success. Also the English translation, obviously. I'm not entirely sure if people are going to stick with it beyond the novelty. I'm not an Uma hater. I'm adjacent to the series because I love Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. So it's something that I know about and follow. I didn't know it was Cygames till a few days ago, says Pixelchu. The entire, like, Shadowverse cards and leader skins and everything didn't tip you off? The Cinderella Girl skins for Shadowverse are so cool, dude. They have a bunch of them. They did multiple waves, I think. Part of why I'm playing Worlds Beyond is because I'm hoping that they'll re-add the skins. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's like part of why I'm playing. It's because I know that you need to invest in the game at the start. Obviously, I wouldn't play the game if I didn't think it was great. But there's like 1% of me downloaded it just in case they add skins for Idolmaster. If you guys like Berserk, that's the series the author was really into. I don't know if any gacha could blow it as hard as Infinity Nikki, asked member Healer. What about Tribe 9? Where between the beta and the final launch of the game, they updated all of the chests to not give you in-game resources. Oh. There are always ways to blow gacha games. Mainly by making your game a gacha. That's definitely the biggest way to blow it. There you go. Okay. I'm getting crazy tired. Problem is, there's a huge unfed market for clothing gacha. Nikki knows it and poofed it, says member Healer. Yeah. This is something that Infinity Nikki duped me with the announcement. I was obviously very excited for it from the announcement, but never played it after when it came out. I thought it was going to be a single-player retail game for the series to move on from being a gacha. And that's clearly not what they did. All they did was fall deeper into that hellhole. The really sad truth is that due to monetization models being way too profitable, any game with a decent amount of customizable variety tends to end up being a gacha, and all of its fans will do anything they can to justify it. And it's like, bro, play a real game where you can find equipment that customizes your character for free. And you'll understand that you shouldn't have to swipe your credit card to get the new sword, like Fantasy Life Online did. You guys know that whenever I talk about gacha games, I'm talking about Fantasy Life Online and everything it did wrong. Every other gacha game does the same thing that Fantasy Life Online did. The stupid weapon gachas and all that. Yeah, Flo did that years ago. And they still do it. True all around, says member Healer, yeah. They should make a... Nikki gets drafted into the war. And it's Call of Duty for $60, but you play as Nikki. And there are like 1 million dresses to wear. That would sell like 1 trillion copies. Maybe that's kind of dark for Nikki, but Nikki gets pretty dark. Nikki gets a driver's license, and it turns into GTA. Now I'm just thinking of, like, Barbie game concepts. It'll get retconned in the 1.0. Nothing better than when a company has something that works and messes it up before the beta launches. Okay, so our XP is all the way up there now for Angler. I just gotta go make the rest of the video. I'm getting hungry and tired because it's been over 3 hours, which means it's the perfect cue to go have some dinner like you guys should. So thank you so much for coming. I had super fun, but now it's time to go log off and eat. So see ya with love and peace. Thank you everyone for watching and chatting today.